Hello, Internet. How is everyone doing tonight? How are all y'all doing? Doing pretty good?
Oh yeah.
Good,
having a
relaxing
blast.
Saturday?
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Yes,
Lots of
thank you,
chaos.
Sakura. Thank you, Sakura in the chat's pointing out that tonight, if you're in the United States, it is daylight savings time. I believe North America as a whole. I can't vouch for anybody in another country, in our northern neighbors that we have speak to on a regular basis. But I can say that our neighbors across the pond do not have to set their clocks forward an hour for a couple more weeks. So for a brief amount of time, we'll be just a little bit closer to them. So, but yes,
That's one
tonight
thing
is
I like about my phone because I don't have to worry about setting it back because it automatically does it.
Well,
Yeah.
for those of us, well, don't forget, you still have your microwave, you still have your stoves, you still
I
have...
don't go off of those. My stove is so old there is no clock. My microwave, I think the clock doesn't work. And we just never took the time to put any clocks anywhere in my house. So it's literally we literally go off of our phones. Those are our clocks.
That works. That works.
We have clocks. People gave them to us for our wedding gifts and for other things. We've got clocks. We just never hung them up and set them up.
Yeah, I got a clock for a housewarming gift, and one of the battery that was in it started to leak, so it's all corroded. So I have to clean it out before I can put a new battery in. Because one of the nice things about COVID and YouTube is I learned how to clean corroded battery stuff off terminals.
Cool.
So.
It's surprising what you can learn on YouTube now. It's cool.
Yeah. Seeing all kinds of activity in the chat. Awesome. That's great. Couple of quick scheduling notes before we get too far into this. Number one, if you were here this morning and did not get to watch Shadow Watch, I am so sorry. We had a last minute, one of our casts wasn't feeling well, and we were kind of debating on what to do. We settled on, you know what? We will do our session tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, over on we will be doing it there instead of Sunday with Scoob. We'll be playing Shadow Watch, and so everybody will be there for that. Next Saturday, we will not be having any streams. I have something I need to do. I'm doing that day. And I'm anticipating I'm gonna have a lot of work to do after I do that thing next Saturday. So it'll be really exciting and amazing. I don't want to talk about too much more until I get a little further along in the process. So next Saturday, no streams. Tuesday night, still gonna have Scuba and the Rye at 9 p.m. I got a couple of things to talk about. I know we're gonna talk about Rye and the Last Dragon. We kind of skipped over that last week because we had such a wonderful guest hang out with us. So, and then next Sunday, of course, Sunday with Scoob, and we'll see. We'll see what. We'll see what shenanigans ensue. Actually, no. Next Sunday is again Shadow Watch. So for for tomorrow and next week, we'll have Shadow Watch on Sundays. Shout out and thank you to Sirenscape for the background music and soundboards. If you guys already can hear this, I mean, it'd give you an idea of what kind of tone we're gonna have for today's session. For Challenge Accepted, as they travel south to Saltmarsh. Thank you to the moderators, to my cast, to all of you in the chat. You guys are awesome and amazing. Please continue to support us. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and the little bell notification so you know when more videos come out from us. If you're here watching on Twitch and whatnot, do realize that you can affect the stream by doing different things. There is a list in the doobly-doos down below in the panels for all the ways you can affect the stream, because you are the tricksters, and it never goes wrong when somebody pulls a balloon pack and forgets that it does no longer inflated. Paladin, what are you breaking now, man? Trying to interact with him. But that's all the major things. I think there's one other major thing to think about. Oh yeah, a courtesy shout out to our friends over at Realmsmith. Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the season premiere of Into the Mist Season 3. They will be on. They will be over on their YouTube channel for that, and I believe they're doing a giveaway if you're a member of of their Discord community. That is the extent of my happiness for them and support for them, because it'll be loads of fun. I'm sure it will be a riot, if not already. And since everyone in here is also, fans of that community, it seems only fair that we give a shout out to them as a courtesy.
Burn the Barnums.
Yeah, giveaway is amazing, but something about a beetle and grim box for Curse of Strahd or some craziness. Mm-hmm. And speaking of D&D stuff, shout out that I believe next week is going to be the release of Candlekeep Mysteries, which is a collection of stories. That's one of their latest books that's published. I believe it's scheduled for release next week. And then they've already announced their next source book, which will be Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, which is going to be amazing. If you're a fan of second edition stuff, this is the Dread Realm stuff being brought into 5th edition. Whole lot of more interesting content.
That's awesome.
That is up for pre-order right now for release in May. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. All the fun things.
Yeah,
with that,
Paragon is on there.
Go ahead.
I wonder if Paragon is on there in the Dread Realms.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
It's Paragon is just a city in the realm in Zeresh. So it could be any number of things.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Candlekeep. I have a group that's going to start it on Thursday. So.
I'm looking forward to incorporating the libraries and stuff in it as well.
Yeah.
Plus,
all of it.
Having a chance to follow some of the different writers and whatnot. It's really cool and amazing. I can't wait. I really just can't wait.
My Thursday game is kind of the one that I go through, and he does basically the core stuff that's specifically books. Then I've got other groups that we just have fun.
Well, Candlekeep, a lot like Tales of the Yawning Portal, is just a series of smaller adventures that you can drop in to other campaigns.
Yeah,
which is always nice.
Yeah, it is. So it'll be cool.
And another thing for supporting the studio, if you liked what you're watching, you want to support the studio, the best way to do that is to head over to patreon.com/Scuba Studio to consider being a patron, get some interesting perks and some behind the scenes info and all that fun stuff. I did not get any videos released this week. I had a lot of craziness go on. So I will have videos out next week. So thank you for your patience on that. I had to remember I didn't up a certain activity log so that if tricksters decide to run amok, they can.
Be gentle.
What's the fun in that? It's fun to have struggles. You get your characters develop more, right?
I feel like the tricksters have been nice to me in the same way they've been nice to Shrag in Shadow Watch. Most of the gifts and the wild magics and all those things have worked out in my favor, so no complaints.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I don't have any complaints at all.
Famous last words.
Yeah, because I believe the last wild magic Shrag had the pleasure of experiencing was the one that polymorphed him into a sheep.
Yes, that was beautiful.
You know, new experiences. I mean, that's rewarding, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Amazing. It's amazing.
I feel like I'm just a glutton for punishment because I just send my characters into all kinds of just craziness or give way too much stuff for my DMs to torment my characters with.
Yeah, but I think as some people will probably argue, I don't need much to torment you, but it doesn't hurt to add a little extra.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and bring this in and bring us back and talk about what happened before and what will happen now. We last left off, the party had traveled south from Squall's End to a budding town settlement, which its most predominant feature is a kind of a rest area, midway stop referred to as Old Maws. It's an old, it's an older kind of tavern with a couple of things for travelers to stop off and stay and get a decent meal and a decent night's rest along the trade routes. They met Old Ma. She's very nice halfling halfling woman who has a couple of boys. And you saw that there was a garrison that was starting to get started up. There's a pier that's being reclaimed. You can tell that this is an area that had been lost at the time, and now is being reclaimed and revitalized with new life. While staying there, happened to come across a couple. They got rumors that there was a group of predators in the woods to the south of the little town area of the settlement. So we went to investigate and came across a group of 3 Allosauruses, predatory type dinosaurs that were bipedal with claws and teeth and just a nasty disposition. The party was able to dispatch them through a creative use of skills, techniques, and spells, and afterwards brought the first carcass back to the settlement, and a team went out to retrieve the other 2. Late into the wee hours of the night, the cook and his volunteers were processing the meat, roasting dinosaur steaks and stuff and whatnot. You guys got a nice long rest and relaxing. And brings us up to the following morning. You guys are getting ready to start to continue on your journey to Salt Marsh, which is about 100 miles to the south.
Oh my!
And as you're getting ready, as you're down there for the morning and getting situated, Maze had informed you the night before that she will be staying in the settlement for a while and helping out Old Ma and helping to keep that area secure. So it is the morning. You guys are having your breakfast, which is more dinosaur steak, eggs, drinks, big spread, and how would you like to start the day?
Well, I was hoping with dinosaur sausages, but I guess the steak will do.
So we just have dinosaur steaks, but not dinosaur eggs. I wanted a dinosaur egg. Big yolk.
I mean, there was 3 of them. I guess we could go back out there and try to find the nest or whatever. But we might be looking a while.
Yeah.
But I'd be okay with that. It'd be a place that I could explore. I haven't been exploring.
You make such a big omelet with that.
Yeah.
No, I
yeah,
think we should get going because we are trying to hit the salt marsh. It's 100 miles away. So.
That's true. I don't mind exploring that place too. That'd be fine with me.
But we have to leave this nice place. I mean, they have fire and water right next to each other. Perfect things I can play with.
We'd hate to lose you, man, but we're going to go.
Yeah, and you
in the
can
cart.
kind of find fire and water, all over the place.
Well, I guess you need
It's
to
not that
help
hard to
secure the cart, so I guess I'll stay with you.
Yeah, think about all the new sticks you can find all along the way.
That's right. I've got this lovely one. This is one of the best ones I ever had. I think I might get it polished.
I mean, I do have to admit, there's some pretty
stained.
neat. I do have to admit, there's some pretty neat designs in that one. It's got like this like sunburst from where the bugs like ate away at it.
Yeah, and this little bird's eye pattern from where the little tendrils of the shoots came out, and oh, it's awesome. Thanks so much, Titus. You have great taste in sticks.
Steve, I can't remember. You said Dead Man's Marsh is below Salt Marsh, right?
Yes, the Dead Mire is south of Salt Marsh. Not very far south, but it is south of Salt Marsh.
Oh, I said it wrong. So Dead Mire. I think I wrote it down wrong.
Yeah, it is. Mire of Dead Men is the actual name.
Well, that sounds lovely.
We had talked about maybe going there after looking at Salt Marsh because there was rumors of creatures and that need cleansing.
Yeah, the Mire of Dead Men is a strange place, because there's several battles that have been fought there in the past. So there's a lot of undead creatures and general. I mean, it's like deep, dark, nasty swamp. So there's all kinds of things that live in there. A lot of people. Some people go in. Not everybody comes out.
So you're talking like Lord of the Rings, right before you get into Mordor, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, very kind of similar to those marshes. Some other things, some other kind of similar places.
Wow. Dead Man's Marsh. Sounds like a great name. Potential chance for danger and very little chance of success. Let's go.
I like it.
I don't know about not having enough success. We've been pretty successful so far. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Have a nice dinosaur belly right now.
I
well,
found
and I was able to
it's-
get through Paradon, and then that wasn't too bad, I suppose.
I've found it's better not to revel in our successes until we've completed the mission.
If you say so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I will head outside and get the cart ready. I'll just tell you, I'll be outside getting the cart ready to go whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
Oh, I'm always ready right off the bat. So she grabs anything she needs to, and she hops onto the cart.
And we say bye, old ma. Bye, old ma. We'll be back. Take care.
She nods. She gives you that warm kind of motherly smile, kind of, and wishes you well. Safe
Aw.
journey.
I'll kind of put my arm across my chest and bow, showing respect for a fellow paladin.
He
with
returns the
Old Ma.
gesture.
And we'll gather my things and head out to the cart.
Yep.
I'll just say bye and then be off in my own world. Wow. Did you see this knot in the floor? That's pretty cool.
Then
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
yes, let's go. I'm probably not going to stay in this cart very long. Can we go now? Are we good?
Hey, look,
Can we
it's
go now?
Karalee.
And the cart's already moving a little
Yay!
bit, slowly, just slowly, enough for Titus to catch up, and then
I don't know what it is about Titus, but he doesn't get the he tells us to go, but then he doesn't ever go. Like we have to get going before he actually follows. I don't understand.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to follow.
and for some reason he's always like dragging behind because he's pushing other people. But I'm not going to get into that. So, I agree. Yeah, he's always in the back. And I just yell out, "Thank you, Titus!" And then
That's
all
fine.
right, man, come on up here
Woo!
if you want.
All right. Can I take the reins fully?
Well, let's get going first out of this area. And then
Okay.
you lose.
All right, Pearl. You
I'll
have an
watch-
inspiration that you could use at your discretion.
Hey.
I'll watch for pedestrians as we're making our way out.
Pedestrian Xing, along with dinosaur Xing signs.
All right. So passive. What's your passive perceptions?
Oh, I think mine's real low. It's like
Passive perception's 12.
12,
14.
10.
21.
21. Okay. Karalee, you notice as it was kind of going and you kind of just surveying around. You notice that the sky is actually kind of dark today. There's a large kind of storm front that's coming in. Everybody else has noticed it's not. It seems kind of dark, but Karalee, your passive is high enough where you can tell that a storm is coming this day. And
What's that?
then as you go through the crop, as you get a little ways away from the settlement, you all start to feel the first drops of rain start coming down.
What kind of cart are we? What kind of cart do we have? Does it have like a tarp over top of it?
I think it's just their basic.
It's an open air cart.
I don't like this, guys. My fur's getting wet.
I'm pulling my.
I'll put my shield up over my head.
As you get,
Maybe some of this stuff will wash off some of this mucus.
That's a good idea for you. You should stand right in the middle, right where it's raining the most.
within about 30 minutes or so, the rain continues to progress till it's a point. It's just it's a heavy rain coming down. There's a slight breeze from the northeast blowing across. The temperature is fairly normal for this time of year, which is kind of like a springtime bit, but it's with the clouds and the storm. It's a heavy rain. Your visibility is reduced because of the rain.
Are we still in the forested area, or are we on the plain?
No, you're coming out. You're coming away from the settlement. You're getting close to getting out to about where the crossroad sign is, and you just see to the east is just like open grassland and rolling hills. But the rain is just full on kind of that downpour, and with the slight wind.
Can I do a nature check?
What would you like to try and determine?
Determine if this is a like a nor'easter, or if this is a monsoon, or do we need to duck for cover?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
You picked
there?
the wrong time to leave the old Mars.
Yeah, okay, so you know how like there's like the bench that the people that are driving have, right? And
Yes.
and usually there's kind of like an overhang into the back of the cart. Can I like hide under that overhang, like trying to stay out of the rain?
Oh, yeah. Cats don't like water.
It doesn't matter if it works or not. It's just the idea that she's trying to hide under the thing.
You can certainly try, and I'm not make you roll for it. It's just you're getting you're trying. I mean, we're talking. It's like maybe like 2 inches off the
She's
back
still trying.
off the back of the car, but you're all up trying to get that to keep you as best you can. You find there's one of the tarps that is in the way. You just try to pull it over. I mean, it's like the one. This is of all the time you've been with her, and seeing her wander around, Titus. This is like you don't have to worry about. You know exactly where she is the entire time, even with all the rain and the mist in Paradon. This apparently is enough to keep her in one spot at all times.
I mean, like, it was constant in Paradise. She couldn't get away from it, right?
This is like a glorified water bottle squirting her.
Can I hear a growl from our resident Tabaxi?
I wouldn't say it's a growl. It's more of a whimper.
Yeah. We'll say that. We'll say that.
So
What'd you get on your nature check, Titus?
It was a 7.
7. Can't really tell how severe the storm is, how long it'll last, or any of that. But it's the fact it's a steady, heavy rain down with a slight wind, so the rain has got just a little bit of an angle to it in some spots, but it's just this kind of like constant coming down.
I'll say, here, Pearl, let me help you. I'm going to use my cantrip to shape water and get away from her. But then it starts raining again on her. And I push it away again, and I push it away again. And all the time this is coming by and slapping Titus on the shield. It's not stopping, Pearl. I'm trying. Forget it.
After about an hour of this exercise,
My
you
arms
finally
start
realize
getting
it's not working.
I think I'm gonna have whatever. Jousting elbow.
I was probably going to stop 45 minutes ago, but the stubbornness in me just wants to see how long this will last. So I just keep on going. Keep on and keep it up for her.
Oh, this is great.
My arm's sort of. Do we see any place to shelter or a cave or a big tree or anything?
Yeah.
Not you see there. I mean, there are some sparse trees, but the majority of this area, as you're progressing south, is like open rolling hills. Every so often, there's a small little corpse of trees, few little groves, nothing too large or elaborate. But thankfully, there isn't a whole lot of like thunder and lightning. This is just straight rain. Progressing through. Who's driving the cart right now?
Oh,
I am. because he was busy doing that stuff. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, Karalee, I need you to
Yeah.
go ahead and give me a survival check with disadvantage.
Sure. 19, 14, 18.
All right. You're able to kind of keep on track heading south because of the rain and obscuring things at distance. Plus the mud is starting to the ground is starting to get wet. There's a little bit of mud kind of going here and there. One of the things while you guys are going, and thankfully Caralee's got this like super high passive. You notice, Karalee, as you're going, there's something off in the distance to the east. It looks like there's some creatures kind of out in the grassland. For the rest of you, if you want to try to see, go and roll a perception check.
Are they the bigger ones, Steve, like we saw last time? Like the big.
No, these are
crazy
smaller.
Okay.
Guessing this is at disadvantage for the perception check,
Yes, perceptions would be a disadvantage because of the rain.
Oh.
I don't know how helpful Pearl will be since she's kind of hiding, but I can totally do it.
Oh no, Titus. That was so good for just
First
a short
one was a
second.
16. The second was a nat 1.
I got a 9.
I imagine my shield is just dumping rain right in front of my face. That's
I mean, if you're still kind of holding up, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what kind of angle you're having it tilted to where the rain runs off. And the funny thing is, as you're doing it, you're trying to hold it because you're trying to look out. And probably with the way your position is, the way the shield is angled as you're holding it, there's like a stream of water that's hitting right about where Pearl has got her tarp covering her.
Hey!
I just dance all together, so I'm gonna hit water here. It's gonna go up the shield there. It's like a
It's like a
Rube
circle.
Goldberg device.
Something like that. Then what'd you get on your perception?
Oh, I didn't even try. I'm just got my hood down and the rain's dripping off my nose
That's fair.
because I only have a 10 perception anyway. So, or 10, whatever it is.
Well, with Karalee, what she's able to kind of identify in the distance is that actually they look like elk, a small herd of elk. And as you kind of go, you do kind of get a sense that there's something else out there. If you'd like to try to actively look, go ahead and roll an active perception.
Okay. At disadvantage, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 is my lowest. So 16 is my active.
Okay. Kind of looking as you're watching the small herd, you notice that there's another figure who's a few hundred feet away. This one looks to be about the same size as the elk. But as you kind of look, things are kind of obscured because of the rain. But it's a creature that looks like it has 4 legs and then an upper body that's more humanoid. As it's drawing back a bow, and after a moment, you kind of see the bow release, and then one of the elk drops, and the rest of the herd goes to scatter. You guys continue to kind of roll along south.
I wonder, guys, I kind of mention it, and they say, hey, it looks like there might be, am I thinking centaur, Steve? Is that what I'm
Yep.
kind of getting vibe of? Okay.
Getting
So
a
I
vibe,
see-
you can totally get a vibe for that as a player. If you want to tell, if you know that as a character, go ahead and roll a nature check.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true. I wouldn't necessarily know that. I'm going to use Halfling Luck.
Halfling luck, making rolls better every day.
That's right.
Unlike Sam Riegel, I like to use it. Okay, so did you say, I'm sorry, you said a
Nature
check? It's just a 12.
They're pretty distinct creatures.
Okay.
So yeah, you can tell it's probably a centaur or something that sounds like a centaur from descriptions from your time in the monastery.
What do you mean a centaur? What the heck?
And
What's a centaur?
I'm just thinking, I say to everybody, it looks like there's a centaur hunter over there. I wonder if he knows the area well enough to get us to some place where we can park our wagon for a while.
That would be really nice because there's a lot of water falling on my head. Yeah, you're doing it on purpose, aren't you? You're totally doing it on purpose.
I think I'll kind of pull the cart over to a place where it doesn't look like there's too much mud, so that we can get going again if we have to. And I'll say, Karalee, or I'll say, you're really fast, Pearl. Do you want to? And I point out like the direction that he is. Do you want to go ask him if that's if there's any place nearby that we can find some shelter?
Well, I guess I can't get much wetter than I am, so. All right,
she
at least
certainly
I get to
can. She's
move.
been staying relatively dry so far.
Oh, have I?
I'll go talk to
A
him.
little. I mean,
no.
you got a few
If she-
spots
if
that
she-
are. You got a few spots because if you have that tarp kind of over and you get a little bit of
then
splashback.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving then.
You get a little bit of splashback. I mean, you're starting to
maybe go
get
and talk to
damp,
him?
but you're not like soaked.
No, she's staying under the tarp then.
Is that horse guy down there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go talk to him.
I guess I could go too.
I
That's
get
fine.
down off the
I just
cart and
figured you're
start
way
walking.
faster than me. So,
Hello.
how far away is he? Steve?
He's about 200 feet,
Okay.
give or take.
Probably can't hear me, but hello.
Not over the rain. But
Darn,
as you
I'm
go to pull up to stop and have this conversation, you see he is moved over to where the elk is and is starting to kind of assess it right there in the field.
Maybe I'll go over. I'll start to walk. I'll say, yeah, I'll go with you if you want to come in. Let's go over there and talk to him, and then we can maybe even offer our cart.
He doesn't seem to hear us. Should I try one of those firebolts to get his attention?
No.
Okay.
What if you miss on accident and hit him?
Yeah, that would be bad. You're right. Unless he's a bad centaur.
Possible.
But okay, I think we'll
start walking over there and like kind of making noise. So trying to call out to him the whole way until he can hopefully hear us.
I'm gonna stick my hand in the air and cast prestidigitation with a bunch of sparks will come out. Psst, like a
Like fizzle.
yeah, exactly. Kind of.
All right. As you guys get within about 30 feet of him, he notices that you've kind of come up, and he looks up, and when he sees Nin do the little sparking thing, he kind of puts a hand, he kind of pulls out an arrow and lightly knocks it into the bow, but kind of isn't quite decided to hold, is kind of holding it at the ready as you approach.
Here, hold on.
Yeah.
See, no more. We're good.
Let me do the talking and don't talk into his mind. He might be
Okay.
superstitious. And so I kind of just wave and I say, hello, didn't mean to bother you. I know you're busy cleaning up your kill. We're just traveling along the road, and we were hoping we have a cart, and we were hoping to be able to find a place for shelter. And you look like maybe you know the area. Is there any place you can think of? We'd be happy to help you haul your kill to wherever you're trying to go.
And we're wet.
He looks up at that last comment. He kind of looks up at the sky, and you see he's like thoroughly drenched, but he doesn't seem to care. As it's like, yeah, it's raining. You're gonna get wet. Well,
I tried
man,
to tell them that, but they wouldn't listen to me.
there aren't many places nearby. Not for a little while. There's that rest stop area back up the road.
Old Maz?
I believe that's what they call it.
Yeah, that's where we came from.
As we're heading traveling south, there's a few homesteads that are kind of sparsed out, but nothing too kind of elaborate. I mean, a few crops of trees if you really want to find someplace that's a little bit better than being.
Well, we were going to do that, but I was hoping that maybe for a cave or something a little drier for our cart, but
Not this close to the coast. Most of that stuff's more into the mountains, and kind kind of surveys around. Like, this is prime hunting ground for grasslands. There aren't many caves out here.
Well,
Where do you hide when it rains?
I don't need to. Just water.
Good point. Excellent.
And there's no lightning. This isn't the time for you for those kinds of storms.
well, if you're interested, we up by Old Maz, there were some interesting new creatures. You look like you're a hunter. We killed these large. I can't remember if I would know what they were.
Allosaurus.
But I don't remember if we knew that. So
Oh.
I describe them. These large creatures that were these predators and they're this tall, and so it looks like there's all kinds of different strange creatures up there. If you're interested,
He puts his arrow down and kind of puts down the bow and and you see him kind of kneel down again and continue in working. And he's listening to you as he's kind of working for the. Where that's like, huh? Yeah, there's several. Those they're normal. They're kind of normal around here. I mean, been a lot of large predators.
hey, one last question, and I will let you go. I apologize for interrupting. Don't mean to do so, but you
That's
happen
all right. I mean, you're not overly threatening, so
you wouldn't happen to have seen coming through this area a small female gnome, and I describe Ellie, or I'm sorry,
Ellery.
Ellery.
her name's blank. Yeah, Ellery. Sorry.
oh, you're the first people I've seen in 3 or 4 days. I tend to stick out here in the wild, stick to myself out here in the wild.
Do you often hunt for those those lizard things?
Only if I'm threatened, but some of them don't cook very well. I kind of prefer this kind of game.
Are there more down south where we're going?
This grassland's got quite a bit of them. You get down to the desert regions of the south. There's some other types.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, thank you for your time. Good luck. Good hunting.
May your travels be safe.
And you as well. And
Thank you.
I'll try and head back.
While they're heading back, Titus is going to jump into the front of the cart and the wagon starts rolling.
Yeah, you're probably moving again.
The mud isn't too bad from where it was pulled over. So yep, the cart does kind of move forward a little bit. Obviously, the minute you did that, Karalee's passive perception kind of clued her in. Is like, yep.
Hey guys, I think there's something wrong with our brakes. We gotta check that out.
So little does he know that I said, no, I'm kidding. I take off running towards the cart. Come on, Dan, let's go.
All right,
This is good.
I'm right behind you. How do you move so fast on those short little legs?
Lots of training.
All right, so now Titus is driving the cart. Titus, go ahead and give me a survival check with disadvantage.
This is a bad idea. All right, a 9.
Ooh.
You're leading the cart along. You kind of you're trying to follow, but with the rain and some of the runoff from some of the other sections, the road kind of gets lost in kind of a mud pit. But you kind of veer off a little bit, and it's to be dark, and you don't quite you don't think you get quite as far as you wanted to in the latter half of the day. So night is coming. The rain lets off a little bit, but it's still pretty consistent. There's some points where the rain kind of thins a little bit for a while, but it's always it's going to consistently be raining. It's just some parts are heavier, other parts are kind of a drizzle.
Okay. So has it gotten completely dark, or is it just the sun is setting and it's getting darker?
It's darker than what it normally would be because of all the cloud cover.
Right.
So, but it is definitely it's getting to the point. It's getting hard to see without some type of light source.
Maybe you should let me drive. I can see in the dark.
I think if you or Karalee should retake the reins, I was only having a bit of fun, but you all are a lot better at this and have better eyes. Pull out my little spectacles. As you see, I'm worthless without these things at times.
They're very becoming, though.
Oh yes, only the best.
Yeah.
I'm here
I don't
too.
see it.
I like helping him.
Yeah, I don't see in the dark, so
Well, there's me and Pearl. Come on, Pearl.
I still have the lantern of revealing.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously, it does a lot of different things, but at the very least, it sheds light. And I'll ask Karalee, who's got such keen vision. Do you think we should chance trying to keep going into the late hours, or just find somewhere to rest?
well, based on what he said, based on what the centaur said, there's not hardly anything here. So I think the next large copse of trees that we find, let's just pull over and try to make camp. I don't want to risk this in the dark with all the mud.
Oh, but I can do it. I know I can. We can make up time. Really?
It's better that we arrive alive and be safe and not chance
All
it.
right. I guess I should just say no then, too.
Well, yeah.
Also, keep in mind the animals are still going to get tired.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
With all this rain and all this mud, it's probably harder on them as well. So let's just pull over and rub them down and make a camp.
Do we get tents?
I don't know. Do you get tents?
I don't know.
Do you have
we
tents?
stopped in at the hardware store with the lady with the 2 kids back in.
Do you have them in your inventory?
I do not.
I do not
don't think-
remember, and I'm sure my lore people in the chat will correct me later, but I don't believe you guys asked to purchase any tents or supplies. It was just the cart and the horses.
We got
That's all
supplies. We did not
need.
get a tent. I had a couple things on my character sheet. There was not a tent. Was not one of them. So
So my my balloon pack is a parachute of sorts, is it not?
Essentially, yes. Based on the description, it is infused with the spirit of an air elemental that
Right.
will lower you down. But it
Right.
is a canvas bag of sorts that would house that air elemental.
I'm good. So I will unpack the chute of the balloon pack and use that to make a makeshift tent to keep me dry over the night, and whoever else can fit under the canvas of it.
I mean, there's a
got my
there's a
little
canvas in in the wagon. It's used that before to kind of make a makeshift kind of lean-to.
Mhm.
So, but it's not much.
yeah, tilt the cart up, put the lean-to on the top of the thing, pull it down, get the horses or get. Is it horses or oxen? I can't remember.
It's a pair of draft horse. It's a pair
Yeah.
of draft horses you've got.
I think we
I
named
can
them.
brush them down from here. I'll
Yeah.
operate
We named them. I forgot about that. So
the mage hand and start rubbing down the horses with the brush.
So,
So
what do you
I'll
got?
Go out
I'll use my animal handling to try to calm them down if I can,
Okay, go ahead and roll your animal handling.
and shown in where how to rub, how to. Did you take care of horses when you were younger?
I don't remember when I was younger.
Oh, well then here's how you do it, and I kind of show them as we go. I got a 15.
Wow, thanks. That's nice.
Yeah.
You like that horsey, don't you? Yeah. What are we going to
Yeah.
call you, horsey?
I can't reach, so it's really good that you're over here because I get about like halfway up the horse. That's about as far as I can get.
All right, I'll get the top part.
All right, Pearl, what are you doing as the party stops to make camp?
Hide under the tarp. Mostly But she's very, very fidgety and kind of like wiggling around a lot under there because she really doesn't want to sit still. And okay, is this the tarp that I've been hiding under this whole time? How big is this? Can I walk around with it around me?
If you do that, then they couldn't use it to cover the wagon.
Uh-huh.
So you figure the wagon's the size of the wagon the size of the part of the wagon you were kind of hanging out in is like 8 feet by 10 feet.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the bench area. So
I have an extra set of robes, Pearl, if you want to use them.
I can totally see Pearl running around with this tarp around her. Just
yeah, think of it like a big blanket. Think of it like a big blanket. You've got it wrapped over a makeshift hood, and you're kind of standing there, and then the rest of them are looking at you and looking at all of their stuff in the wagon that's getting soaked, and looking at you.
Like, fine, and we'll finally give it to her.
I think I'll call one of you Aloe and the other one Saurus. Yeah, it's a good horsey.
Yeah.
So you're setting up camp ish in the rain, doing your best to rub down the horses, and kind of rest, get what rest you can. As the evening kind of progresses, everybody may give me perception checks with disadvantage.
All right.
Oh, disadvantage. 7.
16 is mine.
Oh, heck, I got double 17s.
7.
Karalee, what was that? 16 you said?
Yeah, 16 and 20.
16, Nin got a 17. Titus, what was yours?
I'm looking out.
I believe mine was a 7.
And Pearl was a 9?
7.
A 7? All right, so Pearl's all focused on the fact she's miserable about being wet. Because I'm guessing that's what it is. She's miserable about being wet. Karalee and Nin, as you guys are there kind of working on the horses or whatever, you notice coming up the path near where you guys are camped is another horse-drawn wagon. A single horse pulling the wagon. There's a figure kind of sitting in the bench on the wagon. In cloaks with a hood up, and they're just kind of leisurely walking along the path, passing by within about 10 to 15 feet of you.
Huh. Well, I wonder if they're going to stop here.
How can I see how tall I know it's hard when they're sitting down, but is there any way for me to see the height of the person? To get an idea?
It's a medium size. It's humanoid. Probably it could be an elf, could be a human, but it's definitely taller than a dwarf or a gnome or a halfling.
Okay, that's all I was looking for.
Karalee, you think we should stop them? Maybe they have a tent that we can borrow.
I bet you if they have a tent, they're probably going to use it themselves, but you're more than welcome to.
Is it a carriage, like an enclosed carriage, or is it an open?
Nope, just an open
Open
wagon.
Okay. Well, I'll try this. I'll just go out and then wave them down and say, hey.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Persuasion. I'm pretty good at that. I should be. That's a 23.
All right. See, he kind of slows, and the wagon, the horse kind of pulls the wagon a little closer to where you guys are at. They kind of pull up to a stop.
Thanks for stopping. How are you today, my fine driver?
I'm good, little one. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, except me and my party over there. We're soaked. We're looking to see if there was a place to stay or get shelter around the area. Down the road, maybe a barn or a cave or a nice big tree.
Not many caves around here, my friend. A few homesteads.
You happen to know where one might be close by? We're headed south.
probably about 5-10 miles at least.
5-10 miles. Okay. All right.
Um,
Well, if you don't mind me asking, where are you going to?
Around.
Around. All right. All right. Uh, well, you don't happen to have an extra canvas or anything we can use?
I think I can be obliged.
All right. That would be excellent. Thank you so much.
He gets up, kind of looks over behind him, reaches around, pulls out a pack, kind of tosses it down to you. Might help you.
Well, thank you. You've been so generous.
I say, offer him a gold piece then.
Yeah, can we give you anything for your trouble? We've got a few coins on us, and we've got these great dinosaur or these great lizard steaks. We just got them from Old Ma down the way.
Ah, old Ma. Yeah.
They're a delicacy.
Not really. If you want a
Well,
delicacy, you're gonna want to get some of those fine creatures out in the Aberrant, out on the Aberrant plain.
Oh, what's that?
Another plane. Aren't you? You're not familiar with them?
No, I've never been to another plane besides this one, and I don't even remember where I was 6 months ago.
Oh, perhaps you'll get there.
Maybe
He looks
it's been
over
nice.
to the rest of y'all. It's like, oh, this is a interesting little party you've got.
Yeah. They're nice. Good folks. We're just wet now, soaking wet.
Oh,
And our Tabaxi really doesn't like it.
which is weird because I know of a few Tabaxis in Mezek that don't really that really like the water. I'm very weird to see a Tabaxi that hates the water.
Mezek. Where's Mezek?
You're just rubbing this in, aren't you?
It's
Is Mezek in Eberron?
no, Mystic is actually a continent to the west and south of here.
A continent.
It's a
Is
very
that
nice
a big
place,
island?
very warm.
Is
Huge
that
place,
a
though.
big island kind of thing?
Yeah,
A continent?
continent's a little bit bigger island.
Huh. How long would it take us to get there and to get out of the rain?
On your current in your current mode of transportation, 6 months.
6 months. That's a little bit longer than I was planning,
Well,
but it's still pretty cool. You sure we can't give you anything for your trouble?
no. Token of kindness is always a good thing.
That's right. That's what I always say. Token of kindness is always a good thing. Yeah. What might be your first name, my friend?
You can call me Nebezeth.
Nebezet.
And
Mr. Nebezet, I am Nin.
Nin.
Yes. Performer extraordinaire, and I'll do something with the rain, make it dance in my hand.
He kind of gives you a little bit of a smirk.
I know it's not major, but I can do more than this too. I can do something with a bolt that makes it flame. Want me to show you?
I've seen fire bolts before. They're not that impressive.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. But what's the next town down south from here? Is that that's the way you're headed, right?
No, I'm actually heading to no place in particular. South of here, you're looking at the towns of Leonin and Saltmarsh.
All right.
But
Yeah, that was our destination.
You're still about 2 days away from those.
2 days of this weather, but your tarp will help. I'm sure of it.
Well, it's always good to help people in need. Never know when they might be able to return the favor sometime.
That's right. You ever need a tarp? We got one for you.
Now.
Yeah. Well, are you sure we can't interest you in sitting down by the fire that we're going to try to make?
He looks up at the sky. He's like, And how do you plan to hold a fire in this weather?
Well, I guess I'm going to try to use the firebolt to get it started. See if that works. It's magic, so it should burn at least initially. You got any tinder?
Don't right need any right now, but
All right. Well, I guess that I shouldn't hold you any longer. Nice to have met you, Mr. Mezek.
well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, Nino. But I gotta ask, who are your friends?
Oh, my friends are over there. There's Titus. He's a guy. He's a good guy with a sword, and he likes nature. And that's Karalee. She's the little one over there. She's a healer and punches really well. And that mass underneath that other tarp, that's Pearl.
I noticed.
She's a Tabaxi.
Tabaxis are kind of easy to identify when they're unhappy.
Yeah, I think she'll
meowing. She's like,
canvas the most.
like all the time, just because she doesn't like it.
We are an adventure party for hire or for good. Just trying to make the world a better place.
Better is always
As I
good.
remember it.
Can I see or hear any of this conversation going on?
Yeah, they're about 10 feet from you.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. I've been
So
silent this whole time
as you're
because-
looking,
That's why I said
as you're
honorable.
looking, Nin is standing on the ground, looking up and talking to this figure, who still has his hood up, covering his face because with the rain. You see, it's a smaller cart than yours, and it has the one horse pulling it. The horse seems to be of a dark and light colors. The mane of the horse is white. The body is kind of a darker color. There's splotches of white that you can kind of tell from with your lantern up, kind of giving a little bit of light. The horse is just kind of sitting there, very kind of relaxed. The figure is sitting there just conversing with Nin. You hear Nin describe each of you.
Yeah.
I would have
very
stopped
pretty
him
horse, mister.
well before now.
Okay.
I let it go on purpose. I knew he was doing it, but I just want to see how far he'd go.
I want to insight this traveler who seems to be very, very nice and curious about who we are and where we're going.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Pearl's
What's
just literally just meowing still.
What are you trying to determine?
I am trying to determine what I'd really like to know is, was this guy intending to come and ride by us? Does he seem to be more curious than a stranger in the middle of the rain in the middle of the night would normally be? Suspicious to me.
Okay.
Is
What's
he
suspicious about it?
taking an interest in us?
Okay. Go ahead and roll your
That's what
insight.
you mean. Is he taking an interest in us?
13.
A 13. He seems pretty general in just having a friendly conversation. As you're kind of scrutinizing him, trying to make heads or tails of it, he kind of looks over at you and says, "Be well, Paladin. It's not. It's. I'm sure it's difficult to find people who are just genuinely friendly."
If you've seen half the things I've seen, it's usually the friendly faces you have to watch the closest.
Is that why you watch me so close all the time?
Yes, that's exactly why he watches so close every time.
That's
Friendly
true.
face, that's all it is.
Because LOE was kind of
I love Karalee so
it didn't
much.
turn out to be very good.
So, and who are you?
You can call me Nezabeth.
Nezabeth. And where are you from?
Here and there.
Well, aren't we all? So you
Yes.
travel a lot?
Yes, always looking for information
Information concerning
artifacts.
what? Artifacts?
and knowledge.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun job.
Well, travel takes resources. How do you pay for all of this?
Money is not a problem I deal with.
So you're being supplied money from a wealthy benefactor, or you just happen to have enough to travel?
I've offered a few consultations, few items from time to time.
So you find and sell things on the black market, is what you're saying?
I never said that. I said I've
In a
consulted
roundabout way.
and made things.
Oh,
Black
you
market is a little hazardous to one's health if you're in the wrong place.
And who cares if it's a black market? Black, green, blue, it's all just colors anyway.
At this point, with the mention of the black market, can I insight him to see if he's lying about that?
Lying about what?
About the black market. Only
Being
because
hazardous, or that he doesn't deal on the black
that he
market?
doesn't deal with it.
Okay, go and roll an insight.
Just because of what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that was pathetic.
I mean, I'm also intent on inciting this.
I mean, it's a
if you'll-
10, but I'm +6, so that was a horrible roll. So,
You can't tell.
Mr. Nesbitt, do you ever hire people to do these jobs for you to collect magic items or antiquities or whatever it is you're collecting?
I have on occasion.
Maybe I'll go back to Titus. What do you think? Should we try to offer him our services?
you said that to Titus, right? I didn't hear that. So
Okay. How quiet and completely not conspicuous was that when he said that to me?
Not as much as you expect Nin to act.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
not enough for everybody.
Oh, I forgot
So-
to talk to him in my mind too.
So I had just like this deadpan look on my face, like,
Whoops. I repeat it in your mind. I go, whoops, and then I say, I'm sorry. I forgot that I could talk to you in your head.
oh, please speak normally. I have enough
Okay.
going on up here.
Anyway, do you, Mr. Nesbitt, have any jobs on hand?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. But if I do happen to come across some I could use some assistance with, would you be open to a potential business opportunity?
Should we say yes or no?
Probably depends on what it is.
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And
And
one
where
last
it
thing,
is.
I'd hate to bother you with this, but you said you travel up and down here quite a bit. You haven't happened to have seen a smaller, gnomish woman, and I described her again.
He thinks about it. At the description of Ellery, he sits there for a moment, and how much of a description do you give of Ellery?
So no, I describe her features as best as I can remember them.
And she always has a frown. She's always frowning. And has wrinkles in her head, and her ears are a little funny, and she smells like cabbage. I can give a real good description since I dealt with her.
Yeah, I don't hold anything back. But I don't know much. So
She used to wear these gold rings all over her fingers and have too many necklaces on. And she was just a really horrible person, though, even though she had pretty stuff.
Are there any distinctive features on Nisbeth's clothing, any emblems or anything on his wagon that would identify him in any way?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All right. I won't get close enough because that would just be awkward. I'll just roll my straight roll. 10.
The cloak and whatnot he's wearing looks like it's in pretty good quality. The water is beating off of it as if it's not even penetrating. The same thing. The horse seems to be getting wet, but whatnot. And the wagon pretty well crafted. Doesn't look like it's very old or showing very any signs of age as it is sitting there. But he's pretty calm, pretty relaxed in how he's standing, or how he's sitting there talking to you. The cloak is covering up most of his face. There's a little bit of conversation, or you can see the lower part of his mouth as he talks, and you notice that he seems clean shaven, and that the skin looks youthful, but the way he speaks sounds like he's much older. And as he kind of ponders your description of Ellery, he's like, I'm not familiar with that one.
No. Well, if you do come across her, be careful, because she'll make your life a hell.
She used to run a circus. I don't know if you know much about it. It was called, what was it called again, Nin?
Ellery's Fantastic Follies. I used to work in it. See, I did the water thing again. She wouldn't pay me right and wouldn't let me go, and she was always mean to me.
I'm thinking so hard to Nin. Too much information, knowing he can't read my mind, but I'm still doing it. Knowing full well it's not working, but I'm just like, shut up. Nin, stick.
What?
Not familiar. I can't say I've heard of Ellery, but I've heard of people similar to her.
Whereabouts are these people?
Oh, warlocks. What do you expect?
Warlock? A warlock? You think Ellery was a warlock?
Based on your description.
Huh.
It could be a warlock, but her disposition and her description and some of the tone and influx of your voice as you speak of her doesn't sound like a average individual.
Yeah.
We pretty much narrowed it down to warlock or sorcerer in our conversation before, right? So.
Okay.
Seem rather learned and familiar with all these types of things.
When one spends their life pursuing knowledge, one learns a great many things.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Are you merely a scholar and seller of antiquities, or do you have other qualities that are useful?
Seller of antiquity. No, I can't say I'm a seller of antiquity, but you could say I'm a scholar of types.
I'm just setting up the other chart. I kind of get the other chart while they're talking, and I'm just setting it up and listening, but I'm just setting it up as they're speaking.
You sell rare items is well enough, right?
Some. Others I keep for my personal collection. Others I trade with colleagues and acolytes.
How close is the encampment that Pearl's hiding under to this conversation?
About 10 feet.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right by it.
Yeah.
Pearl. The whole thing is like right off the road from us.
Okay, yeah. So you've met people like her before. Is there like a place that they meet or something that's so easy for you to know about this?
I don't typically associate in those circles. However, I'm aware of them.
Oh.
I've had to deal with a warlock or two.
Yeah, Mr. Nesbitt is clearly a nice fella. He wouldn't hang around with the likes of Ellery.
No. And if I happen to do cross paths with her, I will deal with her in a manner that seems befitting of her character.
Only fair.
Quite the feat you say that you will be able to do. How would you accomplish such a task?
Yeah, because she was kind of hard to deal with when we met her.
Well, if you have the right tools, no problem is too difficult.
I go into Karalee's mind and say, what were we waiting for from the Tom fellow in Squall's End?
Can I reply back? I can't remember. Can I reply back? Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah, I say we're waiting just to find out what he gets out of the book that we left.
oh yeah, okay. I just didn't know if Mr. Nesbitt knew anything about that.
We probably should not tell him everything.
Oh, yeah,
Keep that in mind.
I guess that's right. Carla or Ellery tried to tell me that one time, but I just wanted to talk to everybody. So. Okay, but you're probably right. All
Well,
right.
I don't mind being. Brendan's nice, but maybe not telling him everything. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
Alright.
Pearl just randomly meows again. She doesn't like being stuck and not being able to move around much.
And Nesbeth, you speak of having the right tools. What tools would you recommend for such a task as this?
No, when dealing with warlocks, a complement of a good complement of magics and knowledge of the arcane to render their abilities ineffective, or to, as you would, as individual of martial prowess, which I'm sure you are, being a paladin of yourself, being the first one to draw the sword.
He seemed nice.
Well,
Yeah, I've got some magic I think I can use. That'd be great.
if we should want to find you at some point later in our travels, to perhaps take you up on an offer to adventure or work on your behalf, where might we find you?
Tell you what, he puts a hand inside his cloak and pulls out a small little box and hands it out to you. It says, in here is a couple pieces of parchment. Write what it is you might need, and speak and send them, and you would send the message to me. And if so, I will reply or provide a means for us to contact each other to further elaborate on that.
Cool.
Wow, that's neat. That's a good idea, Mr. Nesbitt.
The night is growing. The night is long, and we have many things to do before too long. So it's been a very interesting pleasure to meet you. I hope you stay dry, and I hope your travels are safe.
Thank you. It's been great meeting you too, sir.
And Titus will just bow and step back towards the cart.
Nin kind of does the thing with the water almost splashing him, but he says goodbye. Thank you.
Again, he gives you that little smirk. You see a little smirk underneath the hood
See, he thinks I'm funny.
as he kind of sits there, and all of a sudden the cart starts moving.
I just say thanks again for the tarp. Most
Bye.
appreciated.
Thanks again.
You're most welcome.
Have a good night and week and everything.
Karalee, you notice as the cart starts moving, he didn't hit any reins. He didn't do anything to get the cart to go into motion with the horse. The horse just started moving, and at a pace that was very relaxed and comfortable that wouldn't be too jarring.
Was he wet?
Not from the way his clothing looked. It looked like any water that hit his cloak, beat it up, and rolled off. It didn't look like he got soaked at all.
So he had Gore-Tex.
Sounds like a cool,
Magical
like a pretty
material.
powerful guy.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy, huh? And we got a canvas and all that. Isn't that great?
You did good,
We
man.
should get a cloak like his. It doesn't get wet.
It doesn't?
You can go ask him for it, man.
No, I think that's a little too far.
Titus would look back to the group and then look back to Nin specifically and say, I know we want to be friendly and all, but
Yeah.
perhaps we not tell so much about ourselves to strangers.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's right. But it turned to work out here, and Mr. Nesbitt was a really nice guy, don't you think?
I'm not convinced.
Oh?
They're not. I mean,
Wasn't
yeah,
the
he was
color of
powerful
his
enough to
clothes?
take the reign off of himself. Don't you think he'd be powerful enough to beat us up?
Yes, but who knows if we are not but pawns on his chess game. It pays to take care of what we say and how we say it and who it is we trust.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. Old Ellery used to say I had to become tougher and tough it out and not get emotional about anything. That was really hard to do, though.
Yes, well, sometimes I wish I could be as open and lighthearted as you are and as Pearl is, but a lifetime in Barovia has taught me other habits.
Barovia doesn't sound like a real great place.
You probably would have been really good at handling yourself at my monastery. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
Well, if you were good at surviving in Barovia, yeah, I would say you'd be good at the monastery.
Yes, sometimes I wonder if surviving in Barovia is not just more luck than anything.
Maybe that's how I survived.
It could be.
And don't worry about it, Titus. You'll be happy again, I'm sure. I mean, just look at me. I'm happy, but maybe that's because I only can remember 6 months ago.
If I could forget all of Barovia, I'm sure you'd be seeing my smiling face a lot more often.
All right. Well, what do you think makes people forget? I heard beer and whiskey do.
Oh.
Only temporarily.
Only temporarily, and then you have to deal with even more problems.
I guess there's no real easy way in this world, huh?
No, but...
Friends?
Yes?
So
Friends is a good one.
So this Barovia place, I'm not familiar with it.
It was really dark, and it had a lot of rain, too. I didn't like it. I tried to have my owl cover me up so I wouldn't get as wet. He didn't like it either.
Speaking of which, are we standing out in the rain?
No, I'm under the tarp. We've been building up.
I made the canvas into the
and I was very, very helpful, wasn't I?
Yeah, curled up in yours. I use the other one. So.
Yep.
So how did you survive in Barovia, Titus?
Sometimes I wake up and I wonder if this is the dream. In Barovia, there's just the darkness, the mist. There's constant howling and people going missing.
Oh,
It's not an easy place to live.
well,
And although I'm glad that I have escaped that place, I still do miss the land of my home.
You're,
Escape?
you're,
Seems
you're
pretty
from
easy to leave.
you're from there, and you grew up in the
Yes.
darkness.
Yes. I grew up in a small village out in the woods, little patch of farmland in the middle of the woods. And I wasn't from a line of paladins. I wasn't born into this. But,
How'd you find the light?
well, after you're in the darkness for so long, you can't help but look for it.
Hmm.
And whether luck or fate, we had an old paladin come and take up residence in our village, whether to take refuge or to continue on his work. I spent some years with him, especially after my father was killed, or when he died. I believe it was part of Barovia.
I'm sorry your father died.
Yes.
I wish I could remember my father and mother.
And really nice.
Yes, both of my parents were taken from me.
Oh, that's really sad. Maybe you
Right.
can get hugs from my parents, and that might make you feel a little better.
That's nice, but nothing's going to replace them.
Yeah.
I'd offer hugs from mine, but it would only go up to your knees.
Mm-hmm. I can give you a hug.
It's okay. It's okay.
You'll be feeling better, I think, once we drive out the dark from wherever we are going. Maybe we'll just go all over this coast and drive the dark out.
That is my mission.
And
all
that'll
the
help.
days of my life.
It won't make everything better, but it doesn't balance everything out. But from the teachings of that I follow and what I believe, that as you continue to do good deeds and do good things, that fills you with more light, and that brings more light to everyone else, and the darkness is abated for at least a time. I'm glad to be with you on this journey, and anything I can do to help you with that, I'd be more than happy to continue to help.
Yeah, Pearl starts to not like have eye contact with you guys when you guys talk about like driving the shadows away, kind of thing.
Because he's a shadow monk.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, Titus, I feel the same way as Karalee. We'll help you. And you already brought light to my life. So, feel good about that, huh?
I feel good about a great many things. We've
You
survived
should, I think.
Barovia. We've survived Paradon, Pearl and I, and Maze.
yeah.
We've done things that many thought were impossible. And yet I still feel that we will accomplish impossible tasks laid ahead of us.
All right. I like it. I like it a lot.
And if we don't go and tell everybody our life stories, talk to complete strangers, and trust people that we don't know.
But all right.
It worked out this time, Nin, but maybe, like I said, just
Well,
not
if you
quite
need to
everything.
tell stories, you tell it to us because we're your friends.
Yeah, okay. I think that works good.
Yeah.
I'll come up with a good story for Titus, too, that makes him feel lighter. One of these days. I can play a little music on my flute if it'll make you feel better.
Here's a task for you. Next time we run across some place that we could, if you could find a way to recharge this air balloon, or this balloon pack, I'll feel a lot lighter then.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll have to examine it and see how it works.
Be careful though.
Okay.
It's very sensitive.
I will. What's a balloon?
Well, Titus, are you still up for first watch? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Without me, we'll just have to do it a little bit longer, I guess, guys.
I can be on the darkest part of the evening since I can see in the dark.
Me too.
Yeah, you and Pearl being the middle watches, and Titus and I on the two ends. So,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll eat some rations, and then I'll kind of get under the lean-to and under the cart and try to get as dry as I possibly can. Which is
Oh, I've been under the whole time.
Hey, remember that thing you did to clean us off, man? You think you can do that to dry us off?
Oh yeah. Now that we have cover, we have the what's that spell called?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. There you go. Taps you on the head with his fake wand and taps everybody else, and now you're nice and dry. But I'm pretty sure it'll get damp pretty fast. But if you get too wet and then you just wake me up, I'll prestidigitate you again. I'll dry you off. Just don't want to confuse that with the sparks, right?
Yeah, don't.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, don't.
Right. I think I can do that.
After he dries up Pearl, she'll give a nice long purr. Be like, thank you.
Oh, that's a nice sound.
All right. So you all set up for the night. Sleep watches are fairly uneventful. Just more of the rain in waves. Who's on the last watch?
That's me.
All right. And who was on the watch right before you?
I think me.
That's
Or is it Nin?
It was it's you, because it was me, but it's you.
Okay. So Titus and Nin do theirs. Pearl, you notice toward the end of your watch, the temperature seems to be getting a little colder.
Fluff up the fur a little.
Karalee, you know, and as you kind of switch over, Karalee, you notice the temperature is feeling a little colder as well.
Yeah, and I
As,
would have related to it too.
the dawn starts to come. The rain is still raining in waves, heavy rain in varying degrees, but this time the wind seems to have shifted. Instead of coming from the northeast, or northwest, it seems to be coming from the northeast. And with that, the temperature seems to be colder. And the rain is still kind of going as you guys are breaking camp and getting as bundled up as you can for the next day of travel along the path, which is a point where we will take a short break since we're about halfway through for things. So we'll take about 10 minutes or so, get up, stretch, grab drinks, all that kind of thing. Everybody in the chat, thank you for watching us so far. We hope to stick around. We'll be back in just a little bit. In the meantime, enjoy some of these sounds from Stream Beats, which is DRM free music you can use for your various streams and videos. And then we will be back with the party to see what happens on their second day of travel. It takes 3 days to get from Old Moss to Saltmarsh or Leonin, and we'll see how they do and what they might encounter along the way. Be right back. Alrighty, and we're back. Everybody have a good break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cookies.
Alrighty, so the next morning ish, it's still, as we said, it's still raining. You guys are packing up. Who's going to drive the wagon today for the first half?
Oh.
Nin?
Oh, you know Ned's gonna try.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
so
dear.
y'all get in the wagon. It's still raining, but
Nope.
you've had a chance
if it's raining, yeah, she'll be in the
you
wagon.
had a
if
chance
it's
to
raining.
bundle up a little bit
Oh.
better.
Before we go, I want to actually do that. I want to try to. So we have two tarps now. I want to try to create like a thing in the back so that it's at least kind of covered and careening off, so that if you're in the back of the cart, you can be a little bit protected.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead and give me a. Is anyone going to assist you?
I will.
Okay.
I'm getting ready at the range. I'm ready to go.
You're sitting there at the reins, ready to go.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm not kind of looking. I'm like,
I
I don't
have
think
the
this
brake.
brake's broken because the wagon isn't moving when I sit here.
I have the brake on, and I never told him how to take it off. So
That's good. That's good. It's
yes.
yeah, I'm
is a
sorry.
really
I'm
nice-
sorry. I'm sorry. I have to do because now I'm thinking about it, and the image that's flying in my head is those times when my daughter likes to rush out to my Jeep before I get out there, and then she is sitting in the driver's seat waiting for me to come out there with the
Yep,
keys.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And since Nin
Right.
is Nin, you're a gnome or a halfling, right?
No, I'm half elf.
You're a half
I'm a
elf.
very small one.
Okay, I don't know why. For some reason, I keep thinking when you talk, it's like it's a gnome.
No. Just a really gaunt half elf.
Gaunt half
Really?
elf. Okay. Anyways, so now that I got that mental image out, and I'm sure the people who know Skittles can picture this too. So Titus, Pearl, and Karalee, the three of you are going to work on trying to make a somewhat shelter to better operate. And you're near a couple of trees, so you have materials with you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a quick little skill challenge.
Yay.
I'm gonna have the three of you pick a skill to help with doing this that you are proficient in, and tell me how you want to use that skill to make this little makeshift shelter.
And you only have a certain amount of time before Nin figures out how to release the brake. Let's get the sand timer.
I think I'll use
dear.
acrobatics just because I would have used survival, but I'm not proficient in it. So
Okay.
I think I'll use acrobatics just to try to tie the knots really well and try to make sure I get the thing set up really, use my dexterity and try to get it.
Acrobatics, I don't think is gonna work for that.
Yeah.
Something dexterity. It sounds like it's something dexterity based.
Yeah, acrobatics. Sorry, did I say athletic? I meant to say acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
How would you use acrobatics?
Well, something dex based is all I was thinking. If it's a skill, I could just do a straight dexterity too. I don't have a problem with that either.
Okay, just do a straight dex if you don't have you can't think of a skill.
The
Or
only
if
one-
you give you a
Let it
couple of
out.
minutes to think of
Yeah.
one, and then
Yeah.
you
The only
can
one I'm
also assist
proficient
somebody
in-
else depending on what skill they're going to try. Pearl or Titus, do either one of you have a skill in mind you want to use to try and do this?
Yeah, so I am going to start with my dumb stat, and I'm proficient in history, so I will recall all the ways that my father had shown me growing up of how to fashion together different canvases, to make tents, lean-tos, coverings, and for transporting goods in from the fields.
I like it. Go ahead and do that. And I will be nice and I will give you an inspiration die you can choose to use on this.
Ooh,
Ooh, and hey, that was a good roll too.
an 18.
Okay. So an 18, yep, you're able. You totally can talk. Looking at the materials around and your knowledge, be able to come up with an idea for a way to set up these canvases to provide a little bit of cover from the rain to minimize minimize getting completely drenched. Pearl, what about you?
I can use survival. I'm proficient in survival, and I would have the skills of like how to forage for supplies, things like branches and things. Which ones are strong? Which ones would be best for it? Find things to fasten it and
Okay.
to make a structure to survive.
Karalee, do you want to take your point and assist, or have you come up with another skill you want to try and use?
Like I said, the only one I'm proficient in that I could think of is when it's all said and done, I could use perception to kind of investigate everything or make sure everything looks okay when it's all said
Okay,
and done.
well let's go with that. So Pearl, go and roll your survival.
Can I use intelligence to see if I figure out how to unlock the brake?
Hold that thought.
I got a 21.
All right, you're able to find some sticks and whatnot to help do this. Tie the knots with Titus's direction. You're able to kind of get it constructed. Karalee, go ahead and roll your perception or investigation.
Yeah. That's going to be 14 plus 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you're able to kind of, there's a couple of points where things aren't quite tight enough, and then there's a couple of spots things don't look very secure given what the wagon's going to be going through. So as a group, you're able to successfully create kind of makeshift covering over it. So now it's more of a covered wagon, only kind of slightly. The rain will kind of slope off to the sides a little bit. There's a few spots where it'll huddle up because just the way the canvas falls. But you kind of point out to Pearl, like, all right, you push up the canvas in this little corner, it'll cause the water to fall off, and it doesn't like splash back in and soak the inside of the wagon. And while you guys are doing this, Nin, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Woohoo!
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh man.
You're the one who's easily distracted. You told me this is one of your character flaws.
Yeah.
It is, but I got double 20s. Natural 20s.
Oh my word!
Double natural 20s. That happened to me once before in my life.
So
For a 24 total.
as they finish getting this together, and you're of course this whole time you've just been so excited. I get to drive the cart. I get to drive. Awesome. I could do this.
Right.
Do this. And it's like
Why
it's
they're
not
moving?
moving. And then you see the lever and you're like, what's this do? Click.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ah,
And now the wagon starts to move forward just a little bit. It
Hey,
had some time to
guys.
sink into the mud a little bit, so it takes a little bit to get rolling. But
yeah.
and as you start to move,
guys, I
everybody
think
jumps
you
into
better
the
hurry
cart.
up back there.
So now you're rolling along. Go ahead, Nin. Go ahead and give me a survival check with disadvantage
Alright.
because it's still raining and the terrain is all kind of.
Survival, huh? I don't know if this kid can survive that well. That is 13.
You're so excited with this, and the area doesn't look very familiar to you.
No.
So you actually are kind of going just off the road and through what you think is a path, but is not a path because of the rain, and
Gee.
kind of progressing through. As you guys are traveling along, eventually you do come across another horse-drawn wagon that's coming close. This one has a pair of gentlemen that are in the wagon. They've got long coats on and cowls up, kind of keeping them off the rain as they kind of are coming the opposite direction you guys are going. And as you come close and pass, you notice that in the back of their wagon is a giant boar.
Ooh.
Four.
Like a dead one or a live one?
It's dead.
Who's up on the seat with me?
I assume I usually am. So
Karalee, did you see that big pig over there?
yeah, it's called a boar.
Oh, cool. You
To
think-
the one who's not controlling the horses kind of gives you a wave, kind of a nice little friendly deal.
Hey, where'd you guys get that boar from?
We got it last night. It was pretty intense. There's some really good boar hunting over there in the woods, about 10 miles to the east.
Wow, so anybody can hunt there?
Well, yeah. I mean, far as I know.
That's cool.
That's great. What do you do
Glad
with
you
the
had good
boar?
hunting.
Well, we're taking it back home to feed our folks and our siblings.
Yeah, is it good? Good
Oh, it's
tasting
great.
meat?
Especially when you roast it. There's this technique the Islanders do where they like bury it in the ground with coals. It just makes the meat so tender.
Whoa.
Try that sometime.
Really?
It's
I
a
was
little
gonna ask-
harder because some of the ground here is a little tougher. I hear it's really good if you like by the beach.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Maybe we should
I
send
don't like
some
the
old
beach.
Ma.
I was going to ask if they wanted to trade for some dinosaur steak, but if they're going to roast the whole pig, probably not. So
I mean, the boar is the biggest thing. There's a couple of smaller bits, but I mean, if you want to try and if you want to try and negotiate a trade,
I will, just to get something different.
okay.
Hey, well, we have some Allosaurus steaks. I guess I still don't know if we would know that name, but
After talking with the centaur, you would have
Okay.
explained it's like it's allosaur. Even
All right.
talking with old Ma, you would know it's an allosaur.
Okay, so I say we have some Allosaurus steaks. We'd love to. It'd be nice to trade for something a little bit different.
Yeah, they're really good too.
You look at the go and roll a persuasion.
I'm
Giant
wrong
test.
person. Oh, I got a 15 on the die, so 15 is my number.
We ain't had dinosaur very often. They're a little harder to kill than we're capable of. But
Well, believe you me, it took us a while too.
Yeah, but we needed to help the people because they were coming towards the town, and we didn't want them to like smush the town, you know.
killed more than one.
3.
There was 3.
They look at each other. It's just a little like 3.
Yeah,
We're tougher than we look.
I was trying to climb on it.
You're talking the big ones, right? With the
Yeah.
small arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they have longer arms.
We're pretty famous back there. You know, the 3 Allosaurus killing party. That's what they call it.
Don't make up stories. We aren't called that.
Oh, well. Anyway, we still got the steaks.
Oh, yeah, we could trade a little bit of the boar for that.
All right. How about a leg?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Or
we'll trade you a
the
leg.
Yeah. You got a knife?
Yeah.
What?
He
Okay.
pulls out a bit. They pull out a couple of hunting knives, and they stop. They go through, and after a little bit, they pull off like the one of the 2 hind legs.
All right.
Cut. They go through and they cut it from the socket. You can actually hear that as it comes apart,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
kind of hand it over. The rain is kind of washing some of the blood from the cuts. And it's like,
And then at this point, when he heard the socket break, he starts getting anxious. He's like, and then the blood is like, can you take care of this, Karalee?
go ahead and give me a Constitution check, Ned.
Constitution. Check her saving throw.
Check.
Okay.
While all this is happening, I'll look to the travelers and say, so you live around here? We heard that there weren't any homesteads or anything for miles.
Yeah,
That's
ours is
10.
about 5 miles to the north. What'd you get, Ned?
10.
You start to feel like you're gonna faint, but
Yeah.
at the last moment, you kind of all that rain coming down on you kind of helps kind of keep you from just totally passing out. You just kind of use that to distract you from the sound and the sight
Yeah.
for a moment.
Yeah.
Some deep breaths and whatnot
okay.
while the
I'm okay.
exchange is occurring. And
I'm okay.
they're like, yeah, our homestead's about 5 miles to the north. It's just easier to travel this way when the weather's like this.
Was the weather any better where you were at?
This time of year, you can get several days of constant rain. I mean, it's spring. That's what happens.
Are there any natural hazards that we should watch out for on the road ahead?
Define natural.
Oh, I guess I should be more vague. Are there any other hazards that you would warn us of as travelers down this road?
Uh, well, we're too far. We're too far west of the rivers. A couple of streams might be overflowing a bit. Um, there's been there's some I mean, there's the typical creatures. Haven't seen many goblinkin of late. They seem to have all kind of vanished.
Hmm.
We've heard they were off to the east and with some wars off to the east.
I don't know. We don't see them that often, but it's normally the ones that we every so often when you do see one, but they haven't been seen for for several months now. So maybe they just moved on. Who knows?
Are we on the right track to Salt Marsh?
Oh yeah, it's still about 40 miles, 40 to 50 miles south.
Okay.
But you're a little out of the ways. You might want to head a little more toward the west.
Okay.
Let
I
me
kind
ask you-
of glance over at Nin, who's been driving the cart.
Karalee, Karalee,
Yeah.
I'm in your mind. Make sure you ask them if there's good where the boar hunting is.
Okay. We don't have
I'm fine, by the way.
I think back. We don't have the equipment to boar hunt, but I'll ask if you really want me to.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
It'll make me feel good.
All right. So, just wondering, two things. One, what did you say is the best way to? What would your best recipe be to cook this leg that we have here?
Probably be easiest to put it on a spit, slow roast it over a fire. And then when you're done, put the bone in. Use the bone for a stew.
I make actual notes, and then I say, and then you said the boar hunting was which was that way?
Yeah, it's about 10 miles to the southwest of here.
Okay.
There's a cropse of trees that the boars like to kind of hang out in. You gotta be careful though. Some of the bigger ones, every so often there's giants that come by.
Well, we appreciate it, and then we'll head. You said west that way to get more.
Yeah, head
on track to Salt Marsh.
Yeah, you're gonna want to head west a couple of hours, and then turn back south. You'll be more in line with heading to Salt Marsh.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you.
Most
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, my name's Pearl.
They kind of look at you. It's like, are you okay?
She doesn't like.
It's really nice if it wasn't raining anymore. Rain's wet. It's really wet.
I mean, but to wear a sweater on your face, that
It's better than being wet.
but you are wet. Isn't that uncomfortable?
She was born that way.
What did you say? I didn't hear it.
You get the sense they've not seen Tabaxi before, so your whole look of a cat, as a cat, which was like
got it.
a sweater on your face, the fur. It seems kind of weird to them.
I pressed the digitator, so it looks like her face got hit by a what do you call that? Hair dryer.
Oh no.
So it's all sticky out and poofy.
Oh
For the
no.
brief moment as the rain continues to fall. It's like, Pearl, you feel your face got really dry and wet
Really-
all over again.
What is that?
It's actually just making it worse. That's
Wasn't me. I'm feeling sick.
I'll say to the travelers before we part ways, would you mind telling me if you've seen any gnomes or a small group of people traveling ahead of us here? or from where you were at?
No? Haven't seen any gnolls? No, we haven't seen any gnolls, and we haven't seen any small parties.
Gnomes.
Gnomes.
Short.
No, I ain't seen. I ain't seen gnomes for, gosh, probably about a year since that last group walked through, right? And they're talking to each other, trying to think about it. I was like, yeah, it's been about 6 months.
Maybe she went a different direction, guys.
Maybe we're just totally guessing. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was good meeting you. Safe travels, and watch out for the large boar and all the other creatures out here.
That's it's just the world we live in. You either get eaten or you do the eating.
hence the Allosaurus steaks. Yeah.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing what we can do with those. Mom and Pa will be happy.
Oh yeah, that'll be exciting. You have fun. You have fun with that.
I recommend
Enjoy that
Say
boar.
hi to them for us.
I from some strangers we never met.
So they load up and they start heading their way, and you guys heading out. Who's gonna drive for the second part?
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I'll take over.
You'll take over.
Yeah,
I'm feeling better though.
that's what happened.
I don't know. Just the crack of the bone. I mean, I obviously have seen things dead before, but I mean, like the Allosauruses, we smashed some of them up and all, but that cracking of the bone just so close by, and so I don't know. So surgical. It just really got me, and then the blood was there, and I don't know why.
Can I use, Steve? I'm going to use my medicine skill to say, oh, you must have meant, and then describe it like perfectly, like what bone it was.
Go ahead. Roll the die.
All right, 13 plus 6, 19.
That's correct.
Yeah, you go into an almost clinical description of what happens when ball and socket joints and cartilage come apart, and just the amount of effort it would take to cause that in a large creature.
I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh God.
You
I'll reach
almost
up
go
and-
to the point of actually like, well, yeah, you can see the tearing here and the cartilage right there, and
All right. I swear I won't ask about it again. Oh.
Here, I'll pat Nin on the back, real, and say, "Oh, chin up, man." It's nothing.
Pearl's just literally absorbing all of it. She's just like, ooh, that's really interesting, and just kind of sitting there like this, and has her tail twitching back and forth and back.
Does your chin up make it easier to breathe? Is that why you? Oh, he's kind of in a cold sweat a little bit, but.
And while he's distracted, I'm trying to steer the cart the way we're supposed to go.
go ahead and roll your survival check with disadvantage because of the weather.
Okay, disadvantage.
Yep.
That was a natural 20.
Oh,
Oh, 19. So 23.
All right, so using the directions they gave you, plus kind of scouting it out, you kind of get back on track. You guys, the rest of the day is fairly uneventful. You get to the point where it's starting to get dark. You're kind of looking for a spot to camp. As you kind of pull up near some trees to give you a little bit of cover from the storm, just like the previous night. However, this time, as you get close, as you guys are looking about, Karalee, you notice that you're a little hesitant to slow down, and you're noticing that there's some movement inside the area of trees.
Based on the description, we went west and south. I wonder if this is where the boar area is they were talking about. I kind of point that out to everybody to say to look.
So, if everyone wants to go ahead and make perception checks, again, the rain and whatnot, your perception will be at disadvantage because of the sound of the rain limits what you can hear. The fact that everything's kind of distorted because of the rainfall, that limits your vision. So that's why it's disadvantage.
I have a nat 20 from the tricksters.
That's awesome.
Oh,
So do I
have a
just
9.
roll once?
Yep, you roll once.
Ah, 8.
All right. What have you done to Avery or D&D Beyond?
I'll actually, because the tricksters gave it to you, I'll let you keep the natural 20.
Aw, that was sweet of you. Thank you, Scoob.
Earl, what'd you get?
Nat 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Am I rolling?
Oh, this rain's messing with our head right now.
Karalee, what'd you
It's
get?
just heavier and wetter than it was in
I
like
was going to ask if I should roll.
Paladin.
I was concentrating on the road, so I wasn't sure if I should roll or not.
No, your passive is enough to clue everybody in. So
Okay.
if you want to look more, you can. If not, it's just having them kind of scout about. Nin, what'd you get?
Oh, I got a natural 9.
Alrighty.
Woohoo.
So, Pearl and Nin are kind of seeing out there. Titus, a moment of clarity as you look about, and you notice that in this crops of trees, small little crops of trees, kind of scattered about, and even outside of it, you see what appear to be large birds, kind of walking about. And as the wagon comes and gets closer, one or two of them pop their head up and kind of look. And as you look at them, you notice that their beaks are pretty broad and have this profile that looks very much like an axe.
I didn't know they were in this edition.
Oh, man, yeah.
I know what they are.
And as you're kind of looking at them, and a couple of them, they squawk a little bit at each other, and others kind of pop their heads up, and they're all focusing on you, and they start to move toward the wagon.
How many of them are there?
Are they like bird shaped, or they just have a beak?
They're bird shaped.
Okay.
But they're tall, right?
They're a
they're tall. You can
they're
ride
a large
on.
flightless bird, and as kind of look at them, they look to be roughly the size of the horse. Like they could be rideable, but they're large, they're broad, they're kind of stocky, and that beak as they start to move toward, kind of squawking at you guys as you're slowing down near them.
How many are there?
8 of them in total.
8. Oh,
Can I roll like a nature check on these guys?
You certainly can try.
I want to try it too.
I don't know why I'm asking since I literally have +0 on it, but I'm gonna try.
I'm going to try a nature check too. I'm proficient.
Okay.
That's a 23.
Earl, what'd you
Mine's
get?
a 14.
Huh?
I got a 14.
All right. Earl, you can tell that they're birds based on what Titus is relaying to you and what you're able to finally see. Nin, you realize that these are a bird called an axebeak.
Yeah.
They're a predatory type. They're a flightless bird. They have a very nasty disposition. They tend to attack creatures that get too close to them.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's they're the fairly decent sized group, and they're moving towards you as you're kind of slowing down to try and rest for the night. What do you go? How do you want to address it?
You keep on going. Those things are nasty.
I would agree.
Possibly get away from them.
I say, Nin, can you try to slow him down with with a spell that has a big effect?
Yeah. I can try this one. He puts his hands out together, and how close are they?
They're about 15 feet.
Okay,
The closest
perfect.
one, a couple of them are, more like 20 to 30 feet.
All right. He goes. He's put his thumbs, goes like this, and he casts. What is it? Flame something.
Burning hands?
Burning hands. Thank you.
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
He speeds it out and casts burning hands, which implies a 15-foot cone. So it goes out 15 feet.
It'll
Starting at 5 feet.
it'll catch 3 of them.
3 of them. All right. And that is a Dex 14.
All right, all 3 fail.
All right.
I got a
And
nat
that's,
one. There's someone get a trickster said nat 1 for me, so it's a nat.
All right.
All 3 will fail.
That's a total of 10 to each of them.
All right, they take it, and they give a howl in pain, and the rest start to charge.
Uh-oh.
Well, that did.
Are they faster than the wagon?
No.
Might be. I don't know.
If you
I
kick
don't
the
know.
wagon up, they're not going to be able to keep. They're not going to be able to keep up.
You said it's getting it's darker, right?
Yeah, this is roughly evening time, and you were looking for a place to camp, and you come across these axe beaks.
What did the 10 points of damage do to them?
I'm
10
angry.
points of damage. They all got hit, but they're not dead.
Okay.
So
I
all
can
8 are still
cover it.
standing. It's just 3 of them are a little singed.
Yeah. I can do that again if they get close enough, but just keep going.
I will for a second, but I say I'm not comfortable with this at night going fast. I don't see well enough.
Oh.
I can see.
Yeah. You want to take over the cart?
I could
I
try.
have my lantern revealing that it gives
Well, that's a good idea too.
it gives a bright light in 30 feet radius and dim light for an additional 30.
Okay. That would help to navigate, plus Pearl to help navigate. So
Yeah, I'll swap with Nin, so Nin can shoot out the back of the wagon. I'll be up on front helping with the navigating and stuff.
Okay. All right, so you guys start to chase. The axe beaks are chasing. Another 4 of them are kind of coming up on the back side. 2 directly behind the cart. 2 slightly off to the side.
All right. Can I aim to catch as many as possible?
You can try to catch 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Puts his fingers out, and a tongue of flame comes out. Burning hands again. Dexterity 14. And I'm going to use my empowered spell sorcery point for that.
All right. 1 fails. The other 2 succeed.
All right. That will be. It didn't register. That'll be 6, 4, and 2. So that was 10, 12, and I roll another dice because of the empowered spell.
That's total damage or per creature?
That's per creature.
Okay.
Hold on.
And if they make the save, is it half damage or no damage?
It's half damage. So it's a total of 11 for the one who didn't make it, and half of that for the 2 who did.
All right. So the 2 who did take the half damage. The one that took the full damage actually falls and is dead.
All right.
The rest are still kind of giving chase.
Crispy critters.
Did the dead one trip any of them? I'm joking. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Roll a percentile, and you get a 25% chance.
Okay. I will do that. Percentile. Roll. 13.
One trips.
Ah.
I want you to picture this. We have our wagon rolling, and out the back is coming this funny car of flames.
Mm-hmm.
We go faster. We can. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. We use it as
Yeah.
jet propulsion. I still have 4 more times I can do this.
How far?
As you, if you're going, pushing the cart forward and whatnot, after a while, you outpace them, and they tend to just
Fall back.
They just tend to fall back after you've gotten far enough away.
Cool.
But you
Wow.
keep going for a little while longer until you feel it's safe to slow down again.
Mhm.
And then the horses are understandably exhausted from having to push this at the last minute.
Wow, that was really fun. We got to go fast.
Whew.
Don't want to do
That
that
was
too
cool,
much.
huh?
Yeah,
Do that
that's
more
one way
often.
to-
I like that. It's nice and fast.
I
Not
don't
good for the
know.
horses.
Didn't know I could do that, but I
okay.
had guessed this shape here. Here, look, Titus.
Away from my face.
Oh,
Away from
no,
my
you're right.
face.
When I do this shape and I concentrate on something, I think somebody told me that once, and I don't remember who, but it worked, huh?
You did a great job, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually
um,
controlled it and didn't burn us down, which is awesome.
It was a good teamwork. Thanks for the light, Titus, and the watch out, Pearl.
Yeah.
So are we still on trail?
I hope so.
Well, I mean, I've got dark vision, and then you have the
I'll
lamp.
let you,
but we're still-
who's driving the car? Karalee still?
I'm driving.
Yeah, I think so. I think
they're
I'm
guiding. They're guiding me with the light and
Go
with the
ahead
dark.
and roll a straight survival because they were helping.
That's 15.
All right, you able to keep on track, and yeah, despite the chaos of outrunning the axe beaks, you're able to keep on track, and after a little while, find a new safe spot to kind of set up for the night. Pretty late in the evening when you do this. The overnight is fairly uneventful. You're all able to kind of get your rest in. The next morning, as you get up and get situated, you notice that the temperature has risen back up. It's now about normal temp for the season. It's still raining, but today there's no wind. So it's literally just like a straight rain coming down. As you get yourself situated and progress forward, who's driving the cart this morning?
I'm feeling better.
You can see better than I can. So
Yeah,
All right.
that's right. Even though it's daylight.
well, is it light out? It's raining.
You've seen like those really overcast days with heavy storms. It's kind of
Yeah,
it's
don't
a
worry
little
about it.
darker.
Karalee, I got this. Don't worry about it.
I'm absolutely backseat driving this. So just so you know,
Mhm.
100%.
Okay, I will. Here.
Go ahead and roll your survival, and since Karalee backseat driving, you don't have to roll a disadvantage.
All right.
My
Well,
character is very motherly, and she's using all of that just like a mom would do, having their kid drive the car. So,
Is it motherly or smotherly? I couldn't quite tell.
you know, tomato.
that's a 16.
Okay. As you guys, as you're going down, you able to keep on track for Salt Marsh. You come across a solitary horse, kind of riding at a full gallop as it's coming up the trail. As it gets close, it slows down. You see a single individual riding the horse, and he kind of pulls up, kind of like real quick stop, even in the mud. And he's like,
Oh,
and he kind of has a like a look, kind of like an intense look on his face, like he's on a mission. He's like, have you guys seen any giants?
giants?
Have you seen
No.
giants?
No.
No.
Are there supposed to be giants in the area?
Two farmsteads just west, just east of here were attacked.
That's not good at all.
Huh. I thought they meant,
There's an increase in giants around here. You got to be careful.
I
Not
thought they
safe.
meant giant boar.
Okay.
So it's raining. Let's see here. I say, hey, I have a map of the area. I take maps. Could you show us where those farmsteads might be? If you'd have to come back to the cart because I don't want to get them wet. So I want to go underneath like the little tarp.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion because he's in a hurry to kind of spread the word.
9.
Last sighting was about 15 miles east of here. Two
How far
farmsteads
was
in the last
Palmer?
week have been attacked by giants. And as
Okay.
he
Do you know why they're
turned,
attacking?
say again,
Do you know why they're attacking?
they're giants.
Okay.
Yeah, they're giants.
As he goes to turn and start to gallop or start to get his horse in motion, he stops and kind of falls back off the horse.
Huh.
Pearl will
mister,
run
are
over
you
and see what's
okay?
wrong. And look
You
around.
notice as he falls back, there's a single arrow shaft coming out of his chest
Oh, that's not good.
as he falls back.
Which way did the arrow go in? Through his chest or through his back?
It went through his chest, which is from behind you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look,
The way you came, the way from behind, it came from behind you.
we'll turn and look.
Guys, I think there might be something behind us.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I will go look.
Look for really big things.
Go ahead and
I'm
roll
gonna just look for
perception.
anything.
Oh, perception.
17.
The disadvantage because of the rain.
Oh.
I got a nat 1.
I would have had that one. I am half left in it. 18, so 17.
Okay,
I'm
Pearl.
an 80.
I got 7.
In
That's my third
8.
one.
an 8. Okay. You guys are all kind of looking out and trying to see where the shaft came from, where the arrow came from. Karalee, you noticed that about 150 feet to the back behind you, you see a lone kind of figure drawing back the bow, another shot and letting it loose in your direction. Four of you.
We're under a tarp. Does that help?
I'm standing up looking. So
Yes, actually, it does. It would be considered partial cover because you're obscured.
Woo!
Yeah.
I guess I'm looking, standing up on top of the cart looking. So I'm probably,
Depends on how tall a tarp is
Yeah,
and stuff, I guess.
I'm probably not. I'm probably I'm the most uncovered. So
Yeah, but you're tiny.
true, but I'm standing on top of the cart. So.
Is it?
The arrow comes in and it just misses Titus
Oh.
and hits the wagon.
Man, I was kind of wishing it was going to aim at me because I can actually deflect it.
Well, not if you can't see it.
Well, it's again, it goes both ways. I had a natural 20, but I remembered even my own stuff. Right, all the ranged attacks would be a disadvantage because everything's obscured.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going
How
to.
big is the shaft around?
So what?
How big is the shaft? I mean, is it bigger than a normal arrow?
Go ahead and roll a history check as you look, or investigation as you look at the arrow.
Investigation, gotcha. That's a 14.
It's not the shaft. The arrow is kind of a standard standard shaft and standard length for humanoid use. Specifically like elves, humans, orcs, that type of thing. The head is kind of a rough metal. Like it's definitely not elven in design, and it's a little cruder than what humans would make.
I'm going to put the brake on the cart, and I'm going to jump down and run at him.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on my mage armor. Casting that.
Okay.
How far away is this person?
He's about 150 feet. So it'll take a full dash, 2 rounds to get up to him.
He's 150 feet.
30 feet movement twice is 60, so 2 rounds of that would get you
Except
close.
that I'm a monk and a tabaxi.
Karalee's the one who told me they were running first, so I know.
I'm 35.
Yep.
I have
Oh,
35
that's fine.
So 70 feet, 2 rounds to get close. Pearl, how far can you run on a dash?
On a dash, I can run 100 feet, and that's without feline agility, and without step of the wind, which makes it a bonus action.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to use Step of the Wind once too. So.
Okay, dokie. So I guess with that, we can go ahead and roll some initiative.
All right.
Yeah, because you say, "Hey, that's not nice."
So.
I got a nat 20 on my initiative. Yes.
What's your total initiative, Pearl?
24.
4. 10.
I got a 9.
All right. Karalee?
I have an 18.
18. Okay. Titus?
19.
Alrighty, top of the order with Pearl. So the arrow has hit the wagon. You can see the you now can see there's a figure about 150 feet away from you.
So what I would like to do is use my let's see here. I think feline agility is separate. Yes, it is. So I would like to use my Step of the Wind, which will use one of my key points. So I gotta mark the key point. So that I can use my dash action as a bonus action. Then I'd like to add my feline agility to it so that I can get further, so I can get all the way to him. And then I would like to attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay. So, as you charge up, you notice what appears to be an orc, only a pretty beefy looking orc, wearing what looks to be like full plate armor.
This is gonna be fun.
Currently has a longbow in his hand. So go ahead and roll for your attack.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. That is an 18 to hit.
Just hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
I wasn't sure. I knew it was right around that area, and I wasn't sure. And that is 8 damage. That's all I can do for this turn. But yeah, when she runs up, she's like, "That is not nice!" Wham!
Alrighty. Next up, we have Titus.
So Mr. Paladin in Paladin armor, who only runs 30 feet, is going to use his. He's just going to dash 60 feet, and that is all he can do.
All right, so you move up.
Sorry.
You move up 60.
Mm-hmm.
Next up would be Karalee.
So I'll go 70. Had I moved already at all, or was I?
No, we're picking right up with this. So you would be jumping down
fine.
and running. You notice Pearl did the same thing.
Okay, I will go. So I'm 70, and she's up there fighting him already, right? So
Yeah.
I think I'll hold off on using my key point. Then I'll just go to 70 feet, and for right now, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next. And I'm kind of like looking around. I know that it's just perfunctory, but I'm just looking around as I'm running. So
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. All right, now it's its turn. It takes the bow staff hit from Pearl, drops his bow, reaches back, pulls out a great axe. It goes to make 2 swings at Pearl.
Pearl would do that. You just run into it. As soon as you said full plate, I'm like, oh, this is Elros all over again.
That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. That is Elros all over again. Pearl hasn't learned. Elros has.
All right. First hit is 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second hit.
11.
Natural 20 plus 6, so 26 to hit.
Why? Because that hits. You would get a nat 20 when I run up like that, wouldn't you? You just.
That's 22 points of slashing damage for the second hit.
Down already. Oh no.
After he drops you, he turns to see Karalee and Titus and just starts to charge at them.
Oh shit.
So he moves his he moves a full 60 feet right up. So he's now within another round, he and Karalee would be in melee, and then Titus shortly there behind. In the chaos, the horse the rider was on just bolts off and just runs off. The rider is still kind of in the one of his legs is still in the stirrup as he fell over. So the horse has just run off with him being dragged along the ground. Nin, you're up.
Okay, so if I move 30 feet closer, which is my speed, how far away would I be?
30 feet from 150, you're still over 100 feet away. If you do your 30 feet again, you dash, it'd be a full 60, so you'd be under 100 feet.
Ran towards
he ran this way, though, right, Adam? So
yeah, he ran. So you moved up
like
70. He's still so he's still about, I'd say about 80 feet, give or take.
80 feet. Okay, I'm going to take out my light crossbow and say some magic words and hope it starts to flame. And I'm going to shoot magic bolt at it. It doesn't actually shoot the crossbow bolt. It's just a prop. Okay. So it's 120 feet range.
Yep, you're in range for that.
All right. No, that's not going to work. That's a 10.
And ping! Right off the armor.
That was no good. All right, that's all I can do.
Okay. Back up to the top with Pearl. Go ahead and give me a death save.
say 13.
13. That is. You're good.
Yep.
All
So
right.
far.
Next up is Titus.
All right, so he is still a good ways away from me.
Yeah, he's
90 feet, right?
yeah, you're about
Oh,
10
no, you
feet
moved.
behind Karalee. Karalee is about 10 feet away from him, roughly. So your full movement, you'd get up into melee with him before he hits Karalee.
Okay, so I can get up into melee with him.
Yes, you're able to get up into melee after one movement.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and activate my Eldritch Claw tattoo.
Okay.
That gives me an additional d6 of damage, and can extend my reach if I should need it 30 feet with my attack.
Okay.
So with that, I am going to swing at him with my long sword. Oops, I did the wrong thing. One moment. See if it hits first. 16.
16 does not hit.
All right. I will look at him angrily as I end my turn.
All right. This brings it up with Karalee.
Okay, so I'm going to run at him, but I'm actually going to go wide of him by 5 feet
Okay.
to get around him. I'm going to go, so I go my 35, and then I will use my Step of the Wind as a bonus action, spend my key point. So that puts me at 70. That puts me up to Pearl, right? Because he moved 60. I was 10
Oh
feet.
yeah, yeah. You would
You're
that
right
would
there.
put you up next to
Okay.
Pearl.
Okay, and then I slap a Cure Light Wounds on her spell.
Did you like actually smack her on the face when you did that?
I literally, boom. So unfortunately, it's only, I rolled it in D&D Beyond. It's only going to be 6 healing.
Hey, it takes me out of death saves.
And that's all and that's what I do. And I say, get up. And I hit her.
Get up, damn it! Get up!
And when you hit Pearl, it's like hitting a wet carpet.
Yeah. Somebody wake this walking carpet up.
He hits hard. Sin.
Oh, wait, I didn't.
All
Okay,
right.
hold on. Here we go. It's used now. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Brings us up to the Org, who takes his swings at Titus. First hit. Not so much. That is going to be an 11 to hit.
It misses.
Second attack. That is going to be 25 to hit.
That hits.
For 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
All right. This brings us up to Nin.
Min's gonna stride forward an additional 30 feet. So now I should be within 60 feet, I think.
Yeah, you're now within 30 feet of it.
All right. He's going to turn and look at the orc, and his eyes go black, and the orc's head is scringing in pain as purple mucus comes out of Nin's neck and ears. He's doing dissonant whispers at the second level.
Okay.
It's a wisdom 14 save.
Fails the save.
All right. That's 17 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And
standing.
that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Brings us back up to the top with Pearl.
Yeah, I was trying to look and see what would be best because she doesn't have a lot of health left. So I was like, let's see here. Because I mean, I'd like to hit him, but I'm also trying to be careful with my health now. I mean, I guess I could use Step of the Wind again to disengage if I wanted to. Okay, I guess I will go back up to him and hit him again with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
And I think what I'll do is I'll disengage with a Step of the Wind after that.
Okay. So you move up.
Yeah.
About 60 feet from you. Your movement covers 60 feet in one shot.
Let me look, make sure. Because I think, hang on, my stupid screen is not wanting to scroll. It is. I have 50 foot of movement by itself, but I could use feline agility to get up there, because I
Okay.
can do it because I was stationary the time before because I was dead or unconscious. So I didn't move that turn. So
I'll let it go.
okay.
So you move up, feline
Yep.
agility, you stand in there.
Yep. I'll smack him again with the quarterstaff, and I got a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
I'm sorry, 23. Quarterstaff. And the damage is another 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I will use my Step of the Wind to disengage and move the last of my movement away from it.
Alrighty, sounds good. Titus, you're up.
I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
So make me a little harder to hit. And then I'm just going to swing at him again with my longsword.
Alrighty, go and roll for attack.
That is a 19 to hit.
That will hit. Roll damage.
All right, so 4 plus 5 is 9 damage.
How do you want to do it?
Reeling from the last strike that he did to me, I am going to basically just slash up his stomach, and then all his entrails will fall out.
So you come up and you come through. You happen to catch those spots in the plate through, and actually just drive your sword through, and the blood starts to pour out as it falls to its knees, and then falls over.
That was a nasty hit there, Titus.
It had to be done. And I'll sling the blood off my blade and clean it off and slide it back into the sheath.
You got hit, right, Titus?
I did.
Okay. I'll come up to them, and I will use my healer's kit to do my healing.
Okay.
For once for each of them. Like ooh, Pearl, you get back. You're 4th level, right? So you get back 14.
Okay.
And let me just double check on that, make sure I'm doing that right. 26 plus 4 plus your level, yeah. And then Titus, oh my gosh, you get back 14.
Nice.
Nice.
So with that, I'm back at full health.
I'm pretty close. I'm only like 11 under, so.
I wonder what this guy was doing out here on his own, just shooting the bow at the rider.
I wonder if it's in league with the giants or if that's just part of the problem. I wonder if they're trying to keep the town from sending out information. Let's take a look.
I'll investigate the body.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All right, put my glasses on so I don't miss any details.
I'm assuming the horse rider's far away by now.
Yeah.
Right.
So
At some point during its movement, the foot came loose of the stirrup, and the body is just kind of laying there, kind of in a crumple, as the horse has darted off.
Can I reach him and check him?
It'll take you a little bit, but yeah, you can end up going over and checking him.
Let's bring the orc and the person in our cart back to town.
Okay.
To the village that got ransacked?
Well, no. How far did you say we were from
You're still
Oh.
about a day's travel.
Oh,
The
okay.
salt marsh.
He was coming up the trail. I was thinking it was closer. So
I'm gonna roll for
He
investigation.
came from one of the farmhouses, I think.
You don't know where the rider came from. He was riding north. He happened to stop because you guys were on the road, but you have no idea where he came from.
My investigation was on par for Titus. I got a natural 1.
Yeah. And my advantage gave me a 6.
Uh,
Wow.
I mean, normally Pro would mimic him, but I don't want to like overdo the rolls. So.
well, and I've been bandaging, so I wouldn't be paying attention to them bandaging.
You go and you look over, and he's like, this guy doesn't. He looks like an orc, but he's not the same as a regular orc. His armor is a much higher quality. It's a plate armor. It's a better quality than what you wear. He's as you search his person, you find there's a piece of parchment that has writing on it. Do any of y'all read or understand orc?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
Nope.
closest I have is Undercommon.
I have a really weird one. I have Celestial.
You're not able to make sense
That's
of
really
what the
funny.
letters are on the document that he had on his person, but he has a basic kind of he has some rations and other stuff. He has the great axe, the bow, quiver with still about 15 arrows in it.
I think it might be a good idea to take this, especially the armor, because it looks shinier than yours.
Can you wear that, Titus? Would you wear that, Titus?
I am quite attached to my own armor, and I get the
But
sense
we could sell
that
it if nothing else, right?
if I wear it, I don't imagine I'll be quite as stealthy wearing it as I am with what I have. But I'll take it.
Oh, I didn't know you were stealthy.
Not me either.
He's as stealthy as Pearl.
Yeah.
Hey! I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It means that he's not stealthy at all, because you are. It's opposite.
Oh,
So I'll take
It's sarcasm, Pearl.
yeah.
okay.
I'll take the armor.
I'll grab the rations.
I get his boots. I'm kidding. Sorry. Baldur's Gate. Buckwood. Sorry.
Yeah. And the great axe if nobody wants it or can use it, I'll take that too.
You can at least take it and put it in the cart if nothing
Right.
else.
Yeah. I was like, we might as well. We have a cart. We might as well grab what we can, and if nothing else, that'll help us upgrade our own things later.
And you said he doesn't look quite like an orc, Steve. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he looks his skin is darker. He's a lot broader and stockier than an average orc. The gear he's carrying is a much higher quality.
Can I make a check to see if I know?
Say again?
Can I make a check to see if I know what kind of creature he is if he's not entirely an orc?
You haven't asked yet. Go and roll a nature check if you want to try and figure it out.
Nature? Yeah, that's what I want to do. All right, nature.
Do you guys think that the rider came from Saltmarsh?
I was wondering, this guy looks like he must have been some kind of a soldier of some sort.
That's a 15, Steve.
15 isn't going to tell you too much different other than he's from the same kind of, I guess, grouping as orcs, but it's just something about him looks different than your average orc.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I say we bring him back.
My equipment.
I don't know. I'm torn. You guys want to go check out, try to find this raided village thing, or go to Saltmarsh and tell them we have this evidence here, and then find out
why don't
where
we
the
head
village is?
towards Saltmarsh, and if we happen to see the farmsteads that were attacked, maybe we could stop by there.
He said they were 15 miles to the east.
Oh.
I wonder if we, but didn't tell us anything about where. So we'd just be shooting in the dark.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. I mean,
Yeah.
Nothing compared to what we've traveled so far, but he mentioned giants. And while I'm sure to some, this guy could be misconstrued as a giant, I don't think that he's quite the culprit that attacked the farmsteads, but it could be. I don't know.
I find it strange that this out of nowhere happened. I really do think there's a connection.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're trying to cut off an area from people sending for help.
Is there a road off the main road we're following that we can get to these villages to the east? Because I imagine the homesteads in the
He
village.
said farmsteads, so we're really, honestly, we would just be kind of just going east and hoping to find a farmstead.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to go to Saltmarsh. If nothing else, they might be able to tell us where to go farmstead-wise later.
Let's see. Maybe we can see what this guy, the rider. We'll maybe take this guy back and go check out the rider and see if we can find anything. His horse is long gone, right, Steve? You said.
Yeah, his horse is gone.
Yeah, I think we should take them back with us because,
yeah.
I mean, I know it's a day, so it's not going to be pleasant, probably. What do you guys think?
Oh, is it still raining?
Yes.
No.
If I had painting supplies, I would paint a picture of them, but I don't have any painting supplies. I'm really good at painting.
So I'll go check out the body. I'm mad at myself. I'm really upset at myself. I should have done it right away. But go see if he's possibly breathing still.
You over go and roll a medicine check?
Yeah. That was stupid of me. If you want, I'm adding a D4 to it because of my the halfling that I am. I add D4 to my medicine check, so that's going to be a 25 total.
So you come up on the on him. You can tell that the blessing and a curse. The fact that the it's been raining for a couple of days, the ground has been kind of soaked. So damage, any additional damage to his body from the horse tearing off seems to be minimal. And as you look and you see where the arrow punctured, kind of looking over, you see that there's just a little bit of life left to him. Just a tiny little bit.
I will immediately use my healing to heal him.
All right.
He gets back 8 plus whatever his level is. So plus 1 per level, basically.
So you go over and you do the healing, the cure wounds, and you see some life start to return to his body. He exhales and kind of groans from the injuries, and and is somewhat groggy as he comes back to consciousness.
Hello, wakey wakey, sunshine.
You are lucky, sir.
What happened?
But your horse is gone. Well, so there was this large creature that we've taken back to our cart, some kind of a orc relative of some sort that shot you with his bow. We've taken him down. Your horse ran off, and I came over, and luckily you still were breathing, and I was able to use the blessings and training that I've been taught by the ways of mercy, and I've been able to heal you with my healer's kit, and you take it easy, but that wound is still pretty strong, but this should keep you up and moving for a while.
Did we take him back to the cart?
Yeah.
Not yet. He's still he barely kind of went over to where he went down. Nin was still standing there kind of looking over the body.
Maybe we should take him out of the rain.
Yeah, good idea. Let's help him over to the cart.
He accepts the help, and he's just kind of groggy, sore, and stiff. But he doesn't appear to be having any outwardly injuries after the healing.
Do you
The
remember what
body
you
of
were
the
doing?
orc. Were you stripping off the armor and things, or what were you doing with? So
Yeah, I was taking the armor and all the weapons off of him.
So as Pearl and Titus are there, they're pulling the armor and the weapons off of this org, and stowing the gear and whatnot. You see Karalee and Nin kind of walk over the rider, and he kind of looks at the org and looks at all of you and thanks you again for saving his life.
Do you remember what you were doing before you got shot?
I was going to warn of a recent giant attack.
That's right.
Where were you going to warn? Like what places?
I was riding north to the next set of farmsteads.
Oh, do we need to still do that?
North? That's the way that this guy came from.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which makes me worried that maybe that he didn't want them to be warned. Do we want to try and...
Have you seen any orcs hanging around with the giant?
No.
Where are
this
you
guy looks kind of weird, doesn't he?
No orc I've ever seen before.
Where are you based out of?
My family has a farmstead just north of Lighthands.
So you were coming from there?
Yeah.
Well, we want to help. We want to do whatever you think is best. We can take you back to Lighthands and find out more information and go ourselves, or we could.
You could help me back to Lighthands to there, and possibly get some more information.
Okay.
Where were y'all headed?
Salt Marsh.
Lighthands not far from there. A little north and to the east. Salt Marsh is on the coast. We're inland.
What do you think, Titus and Pearl? And what do you guys think? Do we head down there first, or do we try to warn these farmsteads? What?
I'd like to warn the farmsteads just because I feel like they were stopping him from telling them. So I feel like there might be some plan.
I just don't think we move anywhere near as fast as if they would on the horse or cart.
Where were the homesteads that were attacked recently, and are the giants still in the area?
Don't know.
Could we maneuver giants and beat them there?
And how far is the place that you were heading?
It's about a day's journey.
And it's probably where we saw the guys with the boar.
Yeah, I bet you they're from that area.
Oh, Lighthands about a day's journey. There's still several miles to the next farmstead.
Why don't we split the difference? Let's go to the closest farmstead, warn them, and then go to Lighthands. Would that be okay with you guys?
Okay.
If you said you're only a few miles away, we can maybe do that. Then that way you can feel like you did what you were asked to do, and then we can take you back and find out more information. Does that sound okay to everybody?
You might even find his horse.
Yeah.
I know you're not feeling very well because you just got hurt, but you wouldn't happen to be able to read this, and she'll point out that note that we found in Orcish, or whatever it was.
He takes a look at it. Looks like it's an orc. I know a little bit of it. I was taught when I was a kid. And he looks over. Looks like it's a contract. A bounty on it has a loose description of a half elf.
Half elf. I'm gonna look at
Says-
Nin.
And that's where we'll end for this week.
Ah.
Yes, please.
Nin, what have you been doing when we weren't watching?
Oh, while we were talking, I gave you 7 more hit points from a key point. So
Who?
Can you get this target off my chest too, Karalee?
I can only do so much.
So thank you everyone for hanging out with us. I hope that was a really good cliffhanger. Hope that keeps you coming back to find out what's going on. The plot seems to be thickening. We have giants. We have we have a bounty on possibly Nin's head. Who knows? How's everybody? Everybody good session?
Good session.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I'm anticipating us finding those axe beaks again, heading back the direction we came.
Oh yeah. Roasted axe beak.
That was good though.
Roasted axe beak. You know, rumors of giant attacks. It's raining.
This is a crazy coast.
Hey, the world is broad and wide, and plenty of things can happen.
I like it.
So again, a shout out to everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. Much appreciated. A shout out to the moderators for doing all the wonderful things you guys do. Shout out to the cast for spending another Saturday night with us to see on where this adventure leads and what happens. Reminder, it's tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be having our Shadow Watch session. See what happens in the Underdark for these guys as they descent to try and find mind flayers, because you know that's always a good thing to do. Don't forget, tonight is daylight savings, so make sure you set your clocks ahead, unless you're like Pearl, who only has clocks controlled by satellites, where it takes the work off.
Don't trust those sneaky satellites.
You know, Skynet, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Anything you guys wish to plug or give a shout out to?
No, just I'd like everybody else here. I'm looking forward to let's see what happens next year, and looking forward to Monday and see what happens there. And
Yeah.
Yep. Monday, of course, is Realmsmith's premiere of Into the Mist, their Curse of Strahd campaign. Be sure to check that out. Realmsmith's YouTube channel, 7 p.m. tomorrow, Monday night. Reminder: we will not be having an episode of Challenge Accepted next week, as I have some other commitments I need to attend to. But we will be back the following week, and we will see what happens then.
I don't know if I'll live that long with a bounty on my head.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
it'll be but a moment, right?
Be just a moment.
Yeah, you will be only mostly dead.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're worried. You killed the bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah. It's like the guy's coming after Han Solo, so that makes me Han Solo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, we can get into that debate later.
He's a little too cool for you, man.
I always wanted to be Han Solo.
And with that, y'all have a great weekend, great week. Stay safe, and we will see you on our next stream. Good night, everybody.
And
Bye.
All right.
I know you love me.